And now, where are we at? Oh, that's right. Live from the man cave in conservative, constitutional Livingston County, Michigan on a Tuesday night. It is a Don't Believe Your Lying Eyes rant tonight. Your co-hosts with us is our friend, Mr. Coffee. I'll give him the yay tonight. Our buddy Georgie's in the house. We have a new friend, our history buff, Ted Bester. Our buddy Teddy, he's going to be new at our table, and we have no picture on the screen for some reason. I'm doing Larry's job, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put me up. So there I am. Here I am. Wow, gee. What else we got here? I'm me, the ever-present earwig, the real Tim Allen. This is my brain. Let's go to this shot and bring you into our studio. From not the camera I wanted. How about this one? No. How about this one? How about you get the mics? The host, Jeremy Scott Gibbs. How about you get the mics?
How about I get the mics?
I got buttons to push.
Yeah, how about I get the mics?
I got buttons
How about
to
you
push.
don't? How about you don't?
Where's the camera that I wanted? Oh, you know what it was? Is
what?
Because the man cave shot is on that one.
Oh.
And it's currently it's all discombobulated.
Fublard.
Tim, you got a fan already.
Fublard.
A fublard up, man.
It is not looking pretty.
What do we got? What do we got?
Look,
That man cave shot.
That man cave shot is not.
whacked.
It's a wackadoodle.
It's a wackadoodle.
I don't even think I can go to it. Here's the man. Here's the man cave. Look at
the
that,
man
folks.
cave shot.
That's what it was.
Substandard equipment.
With this wackadoodle man cave. We are in Max headroom.
We definitely need to upgrade to some new equipment here. If there's any benefactors out there who would like to support the show,
yeah, that would be.
Please let us know.
It'd be phenomenal.
Actually, phenomenal.
You know, since you mentioned it, let me go to the overlay.
Check 1, 2.
And
there we go.
Do this. For those of you who do want to actually support the show,
yeah.
There is a few ways to actually do that. Hit the QR codes on your screen.
All right.
Speaking of screens, we don't have the logo up in the man cave either.
Tim, you got some fans already.
Too many things to do.
I don't need to know about fans.
Do not.
I don't need to know
He's
about
going to
fans.
reject his fans.
Look at all these fans.
All the fans. They're saying hi to Tim.
Something's good. If they say my name in chat, I ban them. It's probably Cat.
No, it's Sleuth Mama and Papa Bob says crap on a cracker.
Crap on a cracker, man.
All right, now they got the.
You know what I'm saying, man? Crap on a cracker, man.
So in
look at that.
QR codes.
Love all you people tuning in tonight, even you lefties. Listen close tonight. There might be some sound bites that you can download and try to make fun of us, but it'll backfire and we'll just get more viewers. So thank you.
Where's that overhead shot now?
What did you say? Fuck you.
No, it's a thank you, but
thank you.
Thank you.
The Chinese people say
that's how they say it.
Accent.
They come to do the
when
teeth.
you go out of the restaurant, they say
that.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Enjoyed the
Don't drop the bomb. I was looking.
Don't drop the bomb. Don't do it, man. Don't drop the bomb. All right. We had some dinner. What do we think of that? I got to go to coffee first, right?
What's that?
Dinner. First
well,
element on the agenda. Coffee.
Okay.
What do you got?
Whenever you do a review on this food, don't lie.
It'll piss me off.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4.7. The reason why
out of 10.
It was no out of 5. I only go to 5. Tim. It was salty for me. That's all.
Oh.
A lot of times when I make food for old people, I go salt it yourself. No, it's interesting. If I was 20 years younger, it would have been perfect.
It's interesting because I didn't.
So I'm going to give you back 0.2, 4.9.
Thank you.
No, down to 4.8 because the toast wasn't burnt.
You need burnt.
The toast needed to be burnt.
More toasted.
I thought the toast was cooked to perfection.
For you,
it was crispy.
Needed more.
And yet
more
the middle was soft.
It was
and
actually
the cheese was perfect on it.
It's just.
So we had spaghetti and garlic,
very good,
cheesy bread. But I always doctor the
cheesy and garlic.
Cheesy and garlic. I always doctor the spaghetti sauce, And so I did some things. Coffee says, "What spaghetti sauce base did you use?" And I said, "I can't tell you that."
And I thought you were holding back on me, and I left it alone. You're waiting for me to ask.
And I said, "Because I don't know." I threw the can away. I just it came from the house. My mother-in-law brought it down and came from the house. I didn't even look at the can. I just saw it was spaghetti sauce, dumped it in, and started doing what I do. Taste test, spice, taste test, spice. But the funny thing is, I didn't use any salt.
Really?
I didn't add any salt. No, I added. No, I did. I sprinkled a little bit of garlic salt right at the very end.
Maybe
but it was very little garlic salt.
Huh.
Is it garlic salt? Onion salt. Onion salt. No, I'm trying to remember what spices I used. Because I always.
And that's just me. It's salty.
Yeah. Teddy?
Honestly, I'd say.
You don't have to rate. You don't have to rate me.
1.5, yeah.
Just honestly, this guy.
4.6. Spaghetti, spaghetti itself is okay, but the
Is
sauce just made the whole dinner. And the garlic cheesy bread was like a little bit of
Where's his
sprinkles
mic,
on
please?
top.
Yeah.
Your ears only.
Yeah.
He's honest. I like
Yeah,
that.
that's good.
It was good. 4.6 out of 10.
Okay.
4.6 out of 10.
Oh,
That sucks.
Had a bite moment right there.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I had
Had 4.6 out of 10.
I had frog
That's only
legs
2 points.
and meatballs, and it was a million out of 10. And that's what spaghetti's all about.
Yeah. On a train.
I had to try it, but that was when I was.
And I had a drink. I had a corn pop drink, and it was just,
Yeah.
come on, man.
And
That's what America's all about.
I
That's
spilled
why I
it
was
on my
supporting
leg.
all the black people back when I was.
I put a little bit of my hairy
During that.
legs in there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Man, we got new people on here I've never heard of.
Yeah, we are touring into this. Speaking of that, speaking of
that's why we were defeated in 2018 when they tried to do it. We went to 54 states.
54 states. Let's take a look at this one real quick. Oh, you're a Biden fan. You're a Biden fan.
What'd you do? Move my table feed?
Remember, I'm in the other channel because of there it is. Oh, you're a Biden fan. Name 3 of his complete sentences.
I like ice cream. This one.
Oh yeah. Where is?
And you're
my
not
ice
even a
cream?
fan.
No,
Yeah.
I like ice cream.
Actually, I know his third.
I
But-
like the little niece touching my hairy legs.
Yeah, occasionally when they touch
That
the
is
hair on your legs when you're sitting on the
out
pool.
of his
I
mind.
used to get in the pool.
Adult
Have
with
hairy
a
legs.
little
Hair on the legs.
America is about 3 words.
What's the third one, Tim?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say you get in the pool and you like touch a hair on your leg.
Little cockroaches.
I wasn't looking. I just saw that.
Cockroaches.
Yeah.
All right, spaghetti. We're done with good meal.
Yeah.
Come on.
I enjoy cooking.
So I wanted to share tonight's thumbnail because this is the first time I put that much work in it for tonight's
All right.
title. I haven't worked in a title screen moment in our open,
Oh,
but I mean we could actually start doing that.
oh!
So
The
title,
overlay.
Yeah, the overlay.
Don't trust your lying eyes.
I could literally put that up. That was our thumbnail for tonight's show, and in
John Bon Jovi's tuning in.
in
Nice.
line with tonight's theme, this screenshot of this show, that show never actually really ever happened. That show never really existed. There was George. Do you remember having a show where Laszlo was sitting on your right and our brother from another mother was on your left,
Who was on my left?
wearing tinfoil hats?
Norris.
Norris.
Do you remember that?
Do you
day?
remember that show you came in and did that?
Yeah.
It's hard because it never happened. Never happened.
Who was that originally sitting there?
Bigfoot. From the long table shoot. Big
Fry.
Big Fry.
Wait.
Yeah, it was Big Fry.
Yeah,
That's
Big
from a long
Fry.
table shoot?
That's from a long table shoot.
Oh, that's why the TV's not on the background like today.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly like today, like on the today. Yeah. Just figured that so anyway, that never happened. Oh, and there's stuff in there that it doesn't exist, like the I want to believe poster over your right shoulder
Oh, real quick.
isn't
guys.
really there.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah.
Does anybody know, just raise your hand, what Biden's middle name is? Without looking, Tim.
Yeah.
You were right. You do?
Oh my God!
I didn't. Do you?
That was the worst thing
Come on,
that
man.
they
It was
did.
like Robin Hood.
Close.
Robin Hood. Close.
You
He's going to
you-
steal from all the poor and give it to the rich. Come on, man.
There you go, Bob.
Oh my God!
Robinette.
I remember the day when Nancy Pelosi kneeled.
Mm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
everybody in every freaking aspect of the life, sports.
Did you ever hear the
and
song that they put out for that?
I don't remember, but
was-
they're
it was-
trying to represent themselves like they are pro Africa, and because have a shawl
Oh yeah,
with so many beautiful colors doesn't mean that you support Africa, you motherfuckers.
they took a knee and everything. And
Yeah. What was the song was Pelosi and who was it? Pelosi and Schumer. They protect the black people.
And probably Pelosi at that time was probably just finish a bottle of vodka or something like this.
why does it
Probably.
look like she's wearing a jock on her face?
It probably is.
She probably wasn't even thinking about like helping black people. She was probably thinking about like, oh, what can I do for insider trading today?
What can I do?
Stocks are
If you see her mask is hanging down, things.
We're not getting a lot from him.
Here. Is that good?
Bring it out a little bit.
Not like this.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know why. Just bring it down just a hair. I'll adjust your sound.
All right.
His microphone just seems a little quiet, and I turned.
Yep.
Let's go again.
Test
Try it. Good. Say something, Teddy.
Hello.
a little bit better.
It's a little bit better. All right. Let's do this. Let's get to some disclaimers because we like them so much. They are fun for us to do. Let's see. Let's see here on the disclaimer pages. And with the screen mix up before the show started, Tim, I have had to adjust a little bit of how I'm doing this. All right. So here we go.
You?
I'll read it. It's my show. I haven't read it in a long time. Oh, I have no screen behind me.
We have no screen here.
Wasn't it on?
Yeah, it was on, and it just got.
What? How did I lose my screen?
Well, while you're messing with the screen, I'll go ahead and read. This is my brain notice. This is podcast is mostly raw and unfiltered and completely politically incorrect. We do say Merry Christmas and the Pledge of Allegiance when we say it, especially the part about the one nation under God. We thank our troops for their service. We only recognize two genders, the dangle and the no dangle. As adults, we enjoy adult beverages every so often. That's how we got the reputation as the righty right drinky drink show, which we have t-shirts for that, by the way. We cuss usually often, especially when coffee's around. We do not curse nor swear. Those are three separate things. We do love Jesus, but we do despise religion and religious hypocrites. If any of this disclaimer is offensive to you, you feel triggered, you need a safe space, you need to go out into the evergreens and scream loudly your feelings of rage, fear, and agony, I know a program for you. But you're probably here because you want to document the things we say to try to make fun of them and get us more viewers when you lambast us on your liberal social media outlets. So please send all of your indexing of the show with all of the highlights you want to use for us to Larry at his email at the outlook.com. That's right there. This is my brain host at outlook.com. So other than that, back to you.
Thank you.
I didn't get a chance to do it while he was reading about tasty beverages, so I did.
Yeah, you were busy running around, so I tried to
did my little slurp there. A little slurp, slurper from the Sherpa. I don't even know what that means, but it works.
What is a Sherpa? Isn't that like a?
Those are the guys that
that's
get
the Nepalese tribesmen that like guide people up the Himalayas. They live
get
around
you
there.
up the mountain. I'll get you up the mountain. All right.
Bears.
They're screaming for Larry. Holy shit.
Somebody do bears.
Go coffee. Go coffee. Go coffee.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, except for bears. Bears will
Fucking
kill you. Gotcha. He was first. Tim dropped the bomb.
Tim dropped the bomb first.
well.
That was
Set up.
that was his disclaimer. What are you talking about?
You were set
He
up.
said it.
Set up.
He said it.
Set up.
You heard him say it.
This is
Yeah, he-
just a picture, but I seen a guy that the bear giving
Slap him?
a slap with his paw, and half of the
shred his face
was,
off?
No, half of the face was missing. They were holding in the eyes to go and they put the part of his face in the plastic surgery. They're about 3.5-inch long.
Yeah.
Clothes.
Yeah, oh yeah. Bears will kill you. And
Next.
shit. There.
Oh, I love this. Great minds discuss ideas. Average mind discuss events. Small mind discuss people. Eleanor Roosevelt.
Very good.
She was
Very
a
good.
nice lady.
She was a nice lady.
Hmm.
First cousin though, so it's a little bothersome there.
First cousin.
Yeah, they were first cousins.
First cousins. Larry's not here.
Oh, Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Who's second? Who's
You know what?
You gonna give that to Teddy?
I'm gonna give that to Teddy.
There we go.
From our Bill of Rights. A regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state,
Comma.
comma. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Name Second Amendment issued 12/15/17.
What's that expire?
Never expires.
Never
really?
expires?
Doesn't
Really?
expire. It's like,
Just
it's
continually being usurped.
It's not a.
it's like marriage license.
Uh,
But the politicians are looking right now to make the marriage license every 10 years, so they will collect more money.
of course.
Somebody loves you, George. Sleuth Mama said George with a big heart.
Oh yeah.
Georgie.
In the beginning of a change, the patriot is a scarce man and brave and hated and scorned. When his cause succeeds, the timid join him, for then it costs nothing to be a patriot. Mark Twain.
Marky Mark.
Marky Twain.
Samuel Clemens.
Samuel Clemens.
Yeah.
Clemens.
Cost nothing.
And here we go.
Last but not least.
All
together.
and everybody,
Oh, my favorite.
never apologize and never explain. It's a sign of weakness.
You know what? It would help if the button works.
And I think that people out here would do well
Louder.
if you're watching
So
to
who doesn't
understand
like it? Then?
that apologies do nothing with these monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the one we're gonna play? This one. I will not apologize.
Oh, it's MTG,
MTG. Yeah.
looking over at AOC saying, you can censor my words. That's fine. But I refuse to apologize. Oh, yeah, you can strike my words, but I refuse to apologize. I'm like,
It's exactly what.
dude, did you see her for the those who are I hesitate to even do it because they're men.
What?
She posted a photo of herself in a bikini.
Oh,
Really?
MTG. And it was something along the lines of, what do you think? You know? I was like, oh, not too bad there.
I'm gonna have to wipe my button board here and just reload everything. It's just they refuse to work.
that was. Do you know what I really enjoyed?
Pickled beets. You didn't let us guess. Oh, I thought you were.
I thought you were going to let us guess.
Yeah.
George, you didn't let us guess?
My guess was pickled beets, but I don't know you.
What do you really enjoy?
I enjoyed the moment when the new people elected from the school board were in your show, and when they came back in the school board meeting, they tried to put them in a spot, and everybody from the school board voted. Even some of them are not elected. They came from Chuck's ass, or I don't know from where. And Glenn said, you know what? I don't apologize, and I don't feel bad about this one.
I love Glenn.
He said, he was like, and after I said, Glenn, when everything was over, yeah, I said, I don't feel bad at all. No, I really love it. I said.
You're talking like that was a year ago when they got censored?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, a year ago when they got censored. There's a picture right there.
Who is she?
That is a picture.
That's MTG.
Yeah.
That's Marjorie Taylor Greene. And the caption was, Many people go into their 50th birthday thinking it's a bad thing, but I truly feel it's wonderful. And I'm so glad and excited and grateful God has let me live to be 50 years and do so many things, from being the first person to graduate in college in my family and to carry 3 babies in my womb, an absolute miracle, 3 childbirths, to raising children and teaching them about God's creation and man's dangers, to running successful businesses and carrying the weight of the responsibility of being a member of the Congress and running, cycling, swimming, jumping, being a badass mother.
I thought you were.
Wait, I
thought you were
ad-libbing.
you know how many-
No, that is what that says. I
Yeah.
thought you were
Do you know how many saggies are having
Conniptions?
therapy from reading that and seeing a lovely lady?
That's a real woman right
That's
there.
a real woman.
Those are real boobs and
She is
real
a hot
figure.
lady for me.
She's a hot lady.
This is how, when I
Yeah.
see her, I think she is a hot lady.
Well, being a gay black guy, you're kind of hot for me, George.
And
Go fuck
I don't know who you're.
yourself.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see no saggies in that picture.
I don't see any saggies in this picture. No.
That upsets him.
She got that hat on, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
She got that cowboy hat.
Well, she loves to get attention, either good or bad. So,
Well, she knows how to use it.
Yeah.
it can be
I
very
love her.
annoying, but very sometimes funny sometimes,
I've always liked her. She's
I like
she's
the
a
eye-
human being.
like her.
The eyelash
I
shit.
like her.
You got to have your pit bulls.
Studebaker likes her, whoever he is.
Studebaker. Misha Studebaker. Let's do this, guys. Let's recap. Well, we're done with disclaimers. Let's recap Memorial Day.
How about you introduce? People are wondering who Teddy
Oh, they're wondering who Teddy is.
Oh, yeah,
we
yeah.
kind of
We
introduced
should
him
give-
at the beginning of the show,
But
but
we should give him his moment of a disclaiming.
the fool.
Give him his moment of disclaiming.
would you like to disclaim anything?
No,
Him.
well, not really.
Does Ford know that you're here?
Does Ford? I don't really work for Ford. I just like their cars. So
There you
Okay.
go.
I
Good
like
name.
Ford cars too.
All
So
right.
it's a Mustang.
That forward
guy.
Is there any views and opinions of you that do not represent any organization and/or?
I only represent myself. So
Okay, there you go.
Nice answer.
We like Teddy. We met him at an undisclosed location a couple
Mhm.
weeks ago, and
Some he was working some corner
he
somewhere.
came back and hung out, and then he said, "I would
Or
like to
like,
come on the show if you
hey.
guys give me an opportunity."
Hey, boy,
And then
we like
to
what you're
top it off,
saying.
he chimed in the chat and was blowing it up, and we're
Mhm.
like, "All
Well,
right."
I got along with someone else in the chat. Can't say who because it's a state secret, but
Sure.
Well, he's a Fed.
Yeah, he is.
yeah,
he's
he's
one
a
of our many
Fed.
feds.
Claims to be a Fed.
Everyone that is has some opinions is a Fed.
Right.
Don't scare me. We can only appreciate the opinions of the mainstream Republicans, and things that I want to agree with my little bubble.
Absolutely. We do not want to test boundaries here on this show because that would
We
be
are a safe space.
a safe space. Yes.
We are.
Safe space for you
It's
to
a-
feel like you're so yes, yeah. So Ted, tell us some of your ambitions without getting into too much detail, buddy.
Well, I'm in a certain higher education. I'm trying to do a history degree.
Mm.
So and just
What's your favorite era?
my favorite era, Napoleonic era.
Wow.
Interesting.
Nice. I just watched a really cool documentary. I'll send it to you.
Did you watch Waterloo 1970?
I did not.
You got to watch it.
You told me about that.
They had 25,000 plus reenactors from the Soviet Army.
Yeah.
To, remake the whole battle, and there was a airplane view of it, where it was just these horses charging around. There's these square formations of these
Right.
hundreds of people. So they don't make them like they used to do.
What did you think of the? I have not seen
Horses?
it, so I cannot give my my opinion on it. But what did you think of the new one with Joaquin Phoenix?
Oh, with the cod piece?
I really liked Joaquin Phoenix. I thought he'd be a great Napoleon, but Ridley Scott, being an Englishman, pardon my language, kind of butchered Napoleon as his character,
Mhm.
and just the history in general. They had musket rifles with scopes, and they were going to shoot Napoleon from 2 miles away as an American sniper kind of thing.
What?
And they have him charging where he wasn't. They have the battles, with just mobs fighting each other instead of actual lines and all that. And they just make Napoleon to be some angry,
Cuckold.
cuckold. Yeah, he's my wife cheats on me. I'm going to take this out on Europe and conquer everything and kill people because I have the tiny man complex, even though I was the average height back in the day.
Well, I didn't know that. Oh,
That's why Teddy's
you were
here.
brainwashed by British propaganda.
no, it's just because I wasn't brainwashed. I just always.
It's
Well, I
not
guess
a-
you're right.
yeah.
I was brainwashed because everybody that
It's
they
not
said he was a
wrong
short guy.
to admit that you're brainwashed.
Short guy, but the
I-
average guy.
No, not brainwashed. It's just, and I never really studied it or anything. I mean,
No.
but it always occurred to me from the one or two that I might have learned in school that he was a short dude. And he wasn't short.
It depends what they serve to you during your life in the plate. They told you, let's say, for example, what they told me in side of Eastern European countries and what they told you in the side of Western European countries. They told us that America is one of the greatest, the worst country, and they are the killers. They are doing every bad thing in the world in the time that the capitalism was going really high and bringing the fruits of capitalism in these countries, and you guys will enjoy. Now, at the time that we are thinking that you are the bad guys, in the same time they told you that Eastern European countries and Russia and all of them are the bad guys too. And if you remember, I've seen in the movies, but I remember when we did in the school, that we just pretended that a nuclear bomb strike, and we used to do the same thing that you guys learn in the school here, go under the table and do this and this and this.
Duck and cover.
So
Put your head
a lot of
between your
people
legs.
in my country, they believe that. A lot of people in your country believe that. But now the tables are changed, and there are a lot of shit served to you or me and everybody in America from CNN or MSNBC that.
But actually, I think
before you used to believe and trust them.
Actually, I think what I learned was through the movies. I wasn't in school, but they always had him playing in whatever movie. He was always a short dude, and he was. I mean, amongst all his friends.
But then the rest of the guys weren't short as well.
But he was always surrounded by his elite Imperial Guard, and these were like the tallest, strongest men that they could find in France.
Really?
Yeah, Grenadiers and Imperial Guard, they had to be above 6 foot. They had to be strong, and they were like the shock troops. They would like bayonet, charge in the enemy infantry, beat them up, send them running,
The stormtroopers, they actually hit something.
Oh.
Yeah, the stormtroopers that could aim a musket
And
and
actually
bayonet people,
Right.
If he ever taught like a history class and I was a young person, I would love to be taking his class because it's interesting how he says that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love
I just thought I'd say that.
Well, you got it. He's got your vote.
Now I'm too old.
And in regards to
There it is.
In regards to the nuclear war thing, I would say that we're closer to nuclear war than ever before. Probably even more than like the Cuban Missile Crisis.
All right. Well, so here's the film. We better watch
Produced
it.
by Archer Productions Incorporated.
This is the duck and cover film.
Hey, Bert, come on out and meet all these nice people.
Remember this
Please?
one? Coffee?
All right. We really
Hey, Tim.
Bert the circumvented
I got a cramp.
every one of us
He's
remember
fine
to
now.
do the same.
Yeah. Anyway, the duck and cover.
Duck and cover. There we go. Well, very good.
And yes, Tim, I do remember.
I did not remember that.
Oh, wait. Is this coffee on the playground? Look at this. Were you in this film?
Yeah, right there, the tall guy next to Napoleon.
So this could be
Gotcha
coffee.
on that one. Gotcha on that one. So, what'd you guys do for Memorial Day weekend? Who do you want to start with? Let's start with coffee. Coffee. Let's go that way.
It was a wonderful day. I took the whole day off from coffee and news, everything. And I went out to Heartland in the morning and met Bob and Mary at their house.
You said news.
News, like news.
Yes.
All
I just wanted
news.
to clarify because it sounded like you took the day off from the noose, and I was like,
Yeah.
Well, that too.
Yeah,
I mean, you weren't hanging around at that moment.
I wasn't hanging around. I was hanging out with Bob and Mary, and what a great day. Heartland was a spectacular town. I've never really driven around, and it was cool. We were in his golf cart, so we were able to go across the parks and through the people and down the street, and it was a very enjoyable. I was impressed by their parade, the people, and I'll send you. There was one person that wasn't too impressed. I was being a gentleman.
Okay.
And the parade was going by, and the Heartland Mushroom Queen was on a convertible, and I offered her my chair because this Mushroom Queen likes to sit during national anthem. So as a good
gesture, goodwill gesture.
I was offering her my chair, and for some
didn't
reason
find that
she didn't find that
as
gentlemanly at all.
Which is very surprising.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
That's her
you
name.
mean to tell me someone was sitting down during the national anthem?
Yeah, there was somebody at a school board meeting that sat.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
That-
There's
that
been,
is old news.
yes, that's
But
old
she's
news.
just
Yeah. And it wasn't so much because I could mess up and sit during the national anthem. My brain is busy or whatever. And if somebody pointed that out, I go, no excuse. I fucked up. And the story, fight's over. There's no excuse. She made an excuse, which was posted by the Sage Group about 3 hours earlier, which was she didn't want to block anyone from behind her. Well, there's nobody behind them, and it doesn't matter. You stand. But it was a weak excuse, and I won't let it fly.
Bullshit.
Yes.
It all was bullshit.
So from now on,
she might block somebody from belly button and down. From belly button up, she couldn't block somebody.
And that was the board meeting that somehow the video didn't work, but somebody took a picture of the Saggies at the same time sitting as she was sitting in front.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody took that picture.
Who was that motherfucker?
And then I happened to be watching the Zoom thing, and I did a still of that thing. And Mr. Hughes doesn't get he doesn't get away with it either, because he was standing without his hand on his heart.
Oh, so Hughes didn't have his hand on his heart.
Really?
No, Chucky didn't have his hand on his heart. He was standing while she was sitting.
There's some clarification in chat.
Chuck was having his hand in his little head.
Stop it. Sleuth Mom was bringing some clarification on there. It was a 45-degree angle.
For the young kids that were singing live there.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It is. So how was your Memorial Day? You hung out
it was
at
awesome.
Heartland, and
Went
it was
back
great.
to their house. It was the best day I've had probably in the Queen and I. It was great. We went back and did some barbecue that actually had meat. That's an inside joke. You probably don't get that, do you?
I don't get that.
You'll get it. I know
Because
some people out here are going to be laughing.
Every
about it.
time I've fed you, there was lots of meat, and you were happy with it.
Yeah, Mother been talking to me about?
Yeah, Mother's been talking about me again.
But no, it was one. Papa Bob, Mary, love you guys. It was so cool. It was a good day. Good day. And actually was talking to Ted at the roadside.
Young Theodore was there with you.
Me and we're Ted. We're Ted and Stace. Ted and coffee or Ted and asshole, whatever. He's Ted to me. Doesn't matter.
You're
Ted and I are
consistently Ted.
close.
He's a variation of
Ted came out and talked to me first before you got hold of me.
Dude,
Way
I was
back at the-
introduced to you.
Yeah.
You got to get coffee.
We were actually talking for about a half hour, weren't we?
Oh, yeah, a long time.
Yeah.
That
It was cool. Anyway.
Awesome. Georgia, what'd you do Memorial Day?
Well, Friday in the afternoon, I went with a friend of mine and bought a live pig from a good guy that is running for school board.
Okay.
And his name is Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
He has a couple of pigs.
We like
they
Jeff.
sell meat and all of this.
The pig's name was
got
Jeff?
one.
Nice.
We lay him down over there and we took in my house. We butcher over there.
Is that the video you sent me?
Yeah, the video I sent you.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I would play that, but some people would be offended in our
Slaughtered a
leftist.
pig?
You know what? I am going to play it just to offend them.
Good.
No, let me. If people can be offended, I can tell you. In the way I was trying to lay down that pig, I shot in the head with a handgun, but somehow the head scarf was too strong, so I had to give to him the second double lung shot, and after he died.
So it took a couple shots to knock him down. Two shots?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of pigs that are like that. That it might take a couple blows to the head.
And for those who want to misinterpret our conversation, we are not about to.
We're literally talking about pigs right now.
Shooting cops.
No.
I mean, I heard the whole conversation. I'm like,
Oh,
somebody
shit.
out there.
No, absolutely
is
not.
talking-
I thought one of the lefties would get offended thinking that we were calling them out before you even went to the
No,
idea of.
I just heard that sentence, and yeah, some pigs are pretty thick-headed.
Are you
And they're
calling
like,
us pigs? No. Idiots, but not pigs. I know you sent it to me, George. There's the grinder. That one's not good.
grinding meat?
No. I'm not playing that video. There was a young lady using a grinder in a way that would
using a grinder. Okay.
Yeah. To vent.
She was grinding on a piece of metal, and but the way that she's
cutting is doing
cutting
a little
is
bit in the wrong way.
I guess she's getting a Brazilian at the same time.
It's against the.
Oh wait, I might be able to get that big TV from that other camera.
Wow, Sleuth Mom was really upset with you, George.
She's
Why can I get that shot?
What's happened with that?
Oh, there it is.
Let's see. George, I'm not finding it. You sent it to me on Facebook, right? One of your 15 accounts.
I think I sent to you.
If you send it to me on my regular cell phone chat, I don't have it.
Yeah, let me check it. How did I send?
Oh, anyways, George
That-
shot a pig twice in the head, and butchered it in the
No,
front yard.
one time in the head, second time double lung shot.
Oh, double lung shot.
That is the best shot.
Hell yeah.
Don't watch Sleuth Mama. Sleuth Mama's getting really upset.
Must have been a while ago. George, you have to send to me.
After I didn't finish that, so we butchered in my house.
Yeah.
He took the meat, and yesterday in the afternoon I was at his house tasting the meat.
Awesome.
This is pretty much what I did.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was good.
Teddy, you were at the parade, but anything else happen over the Memorial Day weekend?
I was at the parade. I checked out the museum in Heartland, which is great. Everyone should check it out whenever it's open. Great people, great exhibits.
Yeah.
Talked to coffee for a little bit. Met some wonderful people that I knew, and I had a kielbasa for lunch, which was pretty great.
Ooh. The nice kielbasa.
Kielbasa.
Casey
Kielbasa.
probably likes you right now because her game name is Sausage Tosser. It really is.
Gaming
I'm
names.
not making this shit up, Jeremy. You think I am?
I know. I saw the photo.
Okay.
Don't show it to me ever, though. I don't want to see that shit.
She might really have a crush on you now.
There may be, but I'm not giving in to it.
That Sleuth Mama.
Sleuth Mama.
No, Sleuth Mama was upset and Crazy Town just went on. Said, "Would you rather
No,
eat
you
the
have
bugs?
it. No,
Eat the bugs."
in your messenger.
Listen,
will eat the bugs.
We don't want to have another booby gate, okay?
Is it the Florence Bee Museum?
Florence, yep, it's Florence Museum.
Sleuth Mama's up on us. Whoever Sleuth Mama is.
Florence B. Deering Museum.
Oops.
There it is. Okay, now I find it for there. What? Why did it take me all the way to the top?
I don't know.
Here it is. Do we need sound?
No, don't put sound. Nobody will understand.
Nobody will understand. You're talking in.
Already.
Oh, it's a wonderful
Albanian.
pinata.
Look at that. George is like, cut this bitch.
It's a big pig.
It is a big pig. What that dress out at?
160.
160.
Yeah.
Get some bacon there.
And the
Oh,
fox
yeah.
got happy too.
Huh?
The fox behind my house got very happy.
Oh
The fox got happy eating the entrails.
Yeah, everything was inside. Went to Fox's house.
Nice. That's better than attacking your chickens.
Imagine the smell.
No, it's
How does it smell?
How the smell?
Butchering.
Does it smell good?
Smell very good.
Oh, good.
Did you take the skin and make some?
footballs.
I didn't have the time.
No
I
footballs.
was
No,
I was
footballs. You make
Pigskin. That's
pig
what a
rinds.
football is.
Pig rinds.
Yeah.
Well, the
No,
ear-
the
basketball.
deep fried. No, the
yeah,
deep fried pig skin.
but you have to burn first the hair.
Oh.
That pig was black color. He is having black hair,
Oh.
and you have to burn everything with a torch. And after that, you have to shave it and shave the skin, so you can save the skin. And after you can remove the pieces and you can throw in the
Deep fryer.
deep fry from the pig's fat.
Now, how we know how the pig rinds are about like a quarter to a half inch thick. How much skin is that? Like an eighth?
Skin is
How-
about
how-
like
I'm saying how thick does it? Because it puffs up quite a
it
bit.
puffs up because it goes in very high temperature and everything is trying to come out. Like
All the juices are
humidity
flash.
and this is why they make that big.
Nice. You learn something every
It's
day.
very
I know.
difficult to look
But
at, but that's how we get our food.
That is how we get our
bacon,
food.
Our ham,
We are learning about history. We are learning
we're
about
learning
how
to skin pigs.
to skin pigs.
Learning everything here.
Just for some
Dude.
people, they think that the meat grow in the field.
Well, now you can make meat from plants now.
yeah.
That's a new thing.
Yeah, get you an estrogen burger.
You can 3D print meat now.
Oh,
Yeah.
by the
Plastic
way,
meat.
he has turkey, he has sheep
Okay.
with the little ones that are going to be big around September, October.
Yeah,
So I'll get one and put in the stick, and we can have some fun.
let's do it, dude.
Yep.
All right,
That drive-through
I'm
garage.
jumping off that screen, Tim. There we go.
Did I see you have a drive-through garage like go in one end and out the other?
No,
Oh,
no.
I know some person that's on the board has one. You can drive in and then the other drive right out. And it's like,
No.
I thought that's what I said.
So
Probably
what?
is the other house that you see?
What does? I'll start with coffee again. what does Memorial Day really mean for you, buddy?
That's pretty freaking obvious.
What that means.
You know, jeez.
So Memorial Day,
A lot of people get it mixed up.
yeah, the distinction between Veterans Day and Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Well, tell us
those
for the ignorant, what does it mean?
Right there, that picture right there. All those guys laying in the grave that didn't come back. Some of them weren't even able to be daddies. You know, it gave us everything. It's right now, everything.
Right
I
there.
posted up on a coffee board through every war. I got it from somebody. All the different lives lost from the Revolutionary War all the way to the War on Terror. You know, how many on each conflict. It's pretty interesting, but right there.
Right there.
That's it right there. Those people laying right there. Even for you fucking nasty saggies, they did it for everybody, you fucks.
Piece of shit.
It's just the way I feel.
That's how you feel. Teddy, you want to read some of that copy for me, buddy?
Memorial Day is an American holiday observed on the last Monday of May, honoring the men and women who died while serving in the U.S. military. Originally known as Decoration Day, it originated in the years following the Civil War and became an official federal holiday in 1971. Really, not that long ago. Many Americans observe Memorial Day by visiting cemeteries or memorials, holding family gatherings, and participating in parades. Unofficially, it marks the beginning of the summer season.
And we were discussing a little bit at dinner, and I couldn't remember. I was like, it's not Flag Day, and it wasn't like Flower Day. It was Decoration Day.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
It started, when some of the women
Used to go
started to decorate the graves.
Yeah, the graves. And it was specifically they left it has its origins following the Civil War.
Yeah.
It was actually first Decoration Days were actually honoring just the northern the northern soldiers that had fallen, and then it spread to the whole country.
We lost more soldiers in the Civil War than we did World War I, World War II combined.
Yep.
Yep.
Fortunately, back then you were more likely, disease would get a lot more people than, actual battle. So.
Oh yeah, we lost a lot to disease. We
Lost
lost lots to where they were horrible medical.
That's huge.
They would.
Well,
you'd have a
belly shot was a certain death after 3 days.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you got shot in a limb,
Amputation.
they would just cut it
Amputation and
off.
get gangrene, which is arguably probably worse than
This is how.
There was a lot of medical advancements that happened at the
Were we going
at the hands of military doctors just to try to figure out triage. So there was contributions by our fallen servicemen, even when they did, more than just the battle for the cause. There was a lot of medical advancement just trying to save their lives and figure out what would work.
They did the best that they could.
Yep.
George, being an immigrant legally coming to this country to enjoy the freedoms of America.
Actually, he's a citizen legally. He's an immigrant.
He immigrated and became a citizen.
He
Doesn't matter.
legally a citizen, not an immigrant. Never mind.
No, it's okay.
You emigrated here, and now you're a legal.
Yeah.
You are a legal citizen.
Right.
Yeah.
What does Memorial Day mean to you? After I have to go through the.
What Memorial Day means to me is, first of all, those guys that give their life for this country. But we have Memorial Day in Albania too.
Okay.
And this is not only for the people that die for the country, but it's also to remember the people that die,
Okay.
like in your family or friends. So it's for both of them. And for the people that die for the country, over there is a different day that is 5th of May, that is considered like 4th of July here.
Okay. Like a Day of Independence type of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Day Independence, not so much Day Independence, but is more considered to respect the people that die in the war.
Okay. Okay.
Independence Day, the Day Independence is in November 28th. And Albania become a state, one state, in November 28th. I don't remember exactly now, it was a long time ago, but
do they keep that date consistent even though they went
keep the
through
date
communist?
consistent because it was the time when the Ottoman Empire and Ottoman army left Albania.
Okay. Awesome.
I think it's 1,887. Yeah.
Okay. Ted, what's it mean to you, Memorial Day? You're a young man,
Well,
history major.
Memorial Day means to me is, we have to remember those who, didn't make it home, so we could have the right to, enjoy what we like, talk what we want to talk about, and say what we want to say, and support what we want to support. So freedom isn't free. Like Coffee said, some people didn't even have a chance to really live their lives. Have a family of their own. They gave it all. They gave it their all.
I just watched a Saving Private Ryan is one of my all-time favorite war movies. But I just watched another documentary on it and how realistic it was and what the basis of it and what they did. It was based on a different set of brothers than what the movie was. But there was the 5 Sullivan brothers that all died on one ship, and then there was the 4 brothers that the movie's loosely based on that they thought 3 of them had gone, and they shipped the other one home, and then they found out one was in a POW camp. And so when I think of Memorial Day, I think of that type of those scenarios of people who laid down their lives, in the various wars. But
you ever see well, you can obviously, you're a history buff, but there's pictures of the guys storming the beaches, or the guys like old Dave that's my age, a little older than me, in Vietnam and stuff. They look like, they look like somebody posted on Heartland's board. There's 4 guys that they signed up for renters. One Air Force guy, a Marine, a couple Army guys that are Heartland graduates or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at those guys. Maybe I'll try to search the pictures out, but you look at the landing boats, and they have a picture of the guys looking up, and they look like they're 18, 19 years old with metal pots on it. You look at Laszlo or some of the guys are on the round table, when they show you the picture, they're like, they look like babies to me now. And then I see my pictures, and I'm like, whoa, you're so young.
Yeah.
And they didn't make it back. They didn't even have.
They took them from high school.
Well, my dad joined at 17 and was pulling bodies off the beaches.
Mm-hmm.
He had the big round white with a red cross. It was just and he was probably 18, 17 and a half, 18. Guys would lie about their age, 16 years old, to go and serve their country.
My sister's father-in-law, so my brother-in-law father, he was in France, in Normandy, at the time that they're pulling people out of the water, pulling, and he was a nurse.
Shoot, that picture of Georgie with M79 grenades all over the front of him that he showed.
Yeah.
And he's skinny as a rail, and he's got all these. An M79 is a breech one-shot grenade launcher. Yeah. And he's got all these on there. I was joking when I said, man, you would have been the guy that invented those 50-shot things at 4th of July. If somebody hit you in the chest, he had about 30. His vest was nothing but grenade rounds. It's like, wow, Dave, badass, all of them, badass.
This is
Carlos
Norman Hathcock the second.
Yeah.
What?
Hathcock.
So I thought you said.
He was a United States Marine,
Yep.
sniper with a record, an official record, service record of 93. They say it was upwards of 300 to 400, but his confirmed kills were 93.
So he went off full cocked.
He went off full cocked. They nicknamed him the White Feather. And he was the one that, I'm trying to see if this was the one, or if I need to see, there it is right there. Hathcock himself estimated to have killed more than 300 to 400 enemy personnel during the war. But one of his most famous accomplishments was shooting an enemy sniper through the enemy's rifle scope, hitting him in the eye and killing him. So that was when they reenacted that in Saving Private Ryan. This is the guy they based it off of.
And the other one, the Enemy at the Gates?
Yes, Enemy at the Gate, yes. He actually was he crawled for 3 days.
Yeah, to kill the
And
high
I found
rank
out
officer.
by reading it that he actually crawled on one side. He didn't crawl on his stomach. He crawled on his side.
Right.
He was on his side the whole time as he crawled through there. And what people don't realize with snipers and stuff like the snipers and what they do, they shit themselves. They
Sure.
just piss where they're at, and
Yep.
they just keep moving along the ground to get
Yeah.
to that shot. And he came back from that particular sniper, that one, with bed sores from laying on his
He
side.
met a cobra too.
I think
Well,
that was in there,
yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah. No, he met the Cobra.
Yeah.
So the sniper, only known as Cobra, had already killed several Marines and was believed to have been sent specifically to kill Hathcock. When Hathcock saw the glint of his sniper barrel, that's when he fired, and he shot him straight through his own scope.
Well, apparently, if like you can see the glint, and this
Yeah,
is what
the
he
scope,
said.
yeah.
He said the Cobra was aiming right at him.
Yeah.
So he got the first shot before the Cobra could get him. So
Yep. In fact, here's let's play this one. Why did I freeze up? Okay. I was gonna play it. I'll wait for the mouse to catch up. No, my computer completely froze.
I think one of the roundtable guys said that his wife didn't, his second wife or whatever, one of his wives didn't even know what he had done, which is not surprising because a lot of times
Guys don't talk.
guys don't talk.
They don't talk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not getting anything.
On that note, how about some of you folks in chat hit that Rumble Fist and give us the thumbs up there.
Yeah.
Like a share. Take a moment to grab the URL and throw it into a social media. Since there's literally only 1/5 of you have bothered to hit that thumbs up, that means we got close to 40 lefties watching the show right now. Apparently, taking notes and indexing for highlight clips to lambast later.
It's literally gone.
Yeah, technical difficulties.
What in the world? Teddy's getting to see behind the scenes.
I know.
Casey, stop sending me nudies, please.
I know. Speaking of Teddy, all right, Teddy, say something interesting.
Say something interesting, Ted.
Camera's on you.
Cameras on me. Thank you.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Under pressure.
Casey, stop.
So I got
sending
this
me-
video. I got this video in honor of the history and the don't trust your eyes. How about deceptive history? Factoid. Got anything that? Did you know that this wasn't true in history? Kind of thing. What pops to mind?
Put me on the spot here.
I know.
Yeah.
It's fun. That's what I like to do. Well, the
Just
little
'cause my
video I
main
found during the break that we're going to run is I had no clue who this is trivia for chat, and don't go Google searching it and throw the answer in there.
Oh, they will.
Which state owns control of the Statue of Liberty in Ellis Island? New Jersey or New York? That's an interesting history between the battle over those.
Well, I'm
Probably
not going
New
against
Jersey.
Ted here. He knows right away when he said
I'll
that.
let the
Yeah.
chat. I'll let the chat figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the problem is that
I don't want to get
When
everything.
you look on a
for
map,
the chat.
you look on
Tim's
a map.
giving you the Hegelian dialectic of either or.
I know, huh? I know. I'm trying to throw him a loop. Thank you. So the map, you look at a map, don't believe your eyes. I mean, because they're obviously right there off of the shores of New Jersey, which was originally supposed to be called New Caesarea or something like that.
Got a bunch of New Jerseys coming across chat.
Yeah.
New Jersey, New Jersey.
New Jersey, New Caesarea with a C, like a C-section, Caesarean. Was what New Jersey was supposed to be called, and New Amsterdam, but then was changed to York. Or those two. So anyway, we're still sitting on Jeremy. What's going on with your computer, man?
3 jerseys.
Seriously, you just reboot it.
It literally froze.
Yeah, you just have to reboot it.
Kick it.
I just have to reboot it.
I guess. I guess you just have to reboot it.
Yeah, that was my last option.
I mean, we're having problems with the monitor on this table feed for his
I
sources.
think
So what's the
video-
answer? Because these guys are going to get bored. They got 3 jerseys and nothing else.
Oh no, they won't find out. I mean, we're only what time? How much we've been shooting? Like 40 minutes.
You're going to make them hold? They're going to.
These
The
people
other
are
ones are
going.
going to.
They're going
30
to
minutes.
sleep before then.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
I don't have that long of a
No,
attention
Just
span.
tell them.
Just tell them, Tim,
Just
because
tell 'em.
they're going to cheat. These three people didn't cheat. Charlotte, Crazy
Uh-huh.
Town, and Studebaker all said jerseys.
Well,
The rest are cheaters.
If they find the video, it's only 5 years old, so it's been out there.
Emma Lazar.
They will learn that the original dispute between the two is New York was basically getting her way like a mean big sister, and literally claimed the entire river, all the way up to and including any docks that were built by New Jersey into the actual river, the Hudson. And so they were literally like saying, "Oh yeah, where's our taxes for the docks you built in the river?" And then eventually the Supreme Court stepped in, and New Jersey thought that would work, but it didn't. New York just told the Supreme Court to take a hike, and then the French showed up and, of course, helped us with the little thing called
The French always show up just in time.
And then in honor of that relationship, gave us a lovely statue. Well, by that time, there was an agreement that was made that Jersey would give them. What's the island that's south of Jersey? Oh shoot, I forget. It's the other big island. It's the rest of New York that's south of them. Anyway,
is
Hudson River actually swerves back in towards the west, and instead of coming right out. But anyway, so the two islands actually were given back to New York, even though they were right next to New Jersey. But the federal government decided that they wanted the island to put the Statue of Liberty on. So technically, it doesn't belong to either. Liberty Island is actually controlled by the federal government, but going into what actual federal lands means is a whole nother story.
Hence, it's not in New York or New Jersey, which is what he.
The irony being, though, is that while New York was digging their subways, they hadn't needed someplace to put the dirt, so they increased the size of Ellis Island by 3 times.
Really?
So yeah,
That's interesting.
in the process of that then the Supreme Court got involved and said, okay, well, anything that's underwater in the river is New Jersey. Everything that's above the water is New York. If something happens to be underwater that becomes above water, it actually goes to New Jersey, not New York. So literally, Ellis Island has the original Ellis that's controlled by New York, and 2/3 of it is actually New Jersey. So it's literally 2 states on one island.
Michigan had a better border dispute story than that.
Give it to us, Ted.
Oh, really?
Everyone ever wonder how we got the Upper Peninsula?
Give it to us,
the
Ted.
UP? Oh, yeah.
Oh, well,
Wisconsin, yeah.
well, we're going to talk about the little-known war called the Toledo War.
Toledo.
Mhm.
So, back in the day, it was like 1830s. We used to rely on the rivers a lot for movement and trade and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to control the Toledo Strip, the lovely Toledo Strip. And then Ohio was a thing. And they were like, hey, we want this river access to Lake Erie and connecting to the river. So they sent a militia to Toledo, and the Michigan sent its own militia to Toledo. And there was like a little battle, but it was just like a couple people were shooting at each other in the air, and one guy got hit in the leg. And then Andrew Jackson, being the president he is like, you 2 kids better stop right now.
You better settle down.
And then he's like, Ohio, you get this little strip of land that will definitely not be a wasteland in the future. Michigan, you get this crappy piece of chunk called the Upper Peninsula that won't have any resources like, large copper and iron ore deposits and like
Trees.
the world and trees and all these natural beauties. You can get that. I like Ohio more. And so everyone back then was like, I'd rather have a slice of the moon. That'd be more valuable. And that's.
And we got the UP.
We got the UP. So, seeing how today is, I'd rather have the UP than Toledo.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Name the top 4 or 5 if Teddy's got another one. The top 4 huge land acquisitions, whether a purchase or dispute like the Upper Peninsula.
What, like Louisiana? Like Louisiana?
Yeah, the top 4 that were at the time were ridiculed and denounced as horrible trades, horrible deals.
I mean,
The Upper Peninsula of Michigan being number 1.
when they bought Manhattan.
Alaska, that was called Seward's Folly.
Oh.
The Louisiana Purchase.
Yep.
Jefferson, they criticized Jefferson immensely for that. Felt that he overspent and we could have just went in there and won it.
Mexican American War acquisition.
Texas.
I would say Texas, I'd put it as 5th. because
so you're just saying you're not going on facts then.
No, I'm throwing out the top 5. I was throwing out the 4 that I know, the top 4 that I know for sure.
The most consequential would probably be Texas and the Mexican-American War stuff, because that was like, that upset the balance between the northern states and the southern states.
True. Yep.
And, during 1840s, 1850s, there was a balance of power in the House and Senate. We don't want one side gaining the other. And so when we had all these states and we had Lee, Kansas, and all these slavery versus abolitionist infighting, that was one of the main caveats that was building up the tension for the Civil War.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Whether you're going to be a slave state. In fact, the agreement was that if you brought in a slave state, you had to allow a free state at the same time, or
That's
within
why
12 months.
When we had Texas, we had California all the way on the other side, but we had these unincorporated territories.
Right.
So technically, America would have been all the way stuff over here, and then California would have been a space out there. Everything in between was mostly Native American land.
territory.
Got a lot of shit on chat. Time out for just a second,
All right,
gentlemen.
give it up, Cough.
All right. First of all, we go back. Jeremy, don't hold back with your thoughts on English pride. And I think that's when we're talking about the Jersey thing. It was chimed in. Then John Bovey says Wolverine Watchman. And then John Bovey says Puerto Rico. John Bovey says Greenland. And then Charlotte Kosler says Ohio isn't a state, it's a territory. It never was voted on. It was too late. Too lazy Congress. Fact prove me wrong.
Keep your conspiracy theories.
Charlotte.
Let Ted.
Well,
Ted
there's in a unrelated thing to this topic of the episode, there's some people that don't think Ohio exists.
Yeah, it's a state of mind.
Yeah, it's a state of mind. It's
Stop it, Tim. You wouldn't believe what you're doing to my
It's just not real. The people aren't real. They're just, they're figments of your imagination.
Was it voted on, though, what they're saying? Says it was never voted on. Is that true?
Let's look that up.
Well,
look it up. I can't imagine.
My great uncle owned 2/3 of it at one point. The entire Ohio Valley.
I hate Tim right now.
Where's your dividend then? Because we need some underwriting for the show. And apparently, Ted, your mom's watching.
Teddy's mom's watching.
Big K 922.
Big K 922.
Oh, good. Yeah. That's she names everything Big K. It seems like.
Hey.
My mom.
Well, shout out to Mom. We're trying to keep him behaving over here.
He's very knowledgeable, Mom. We love the guy.
True, it's a fact. We're going to look up fact checkers. We need fact checkers.
Charlie says it's fact.
Fact checkers. No, real fact checkers. These are not fake.
George got a laptop
fact
on,
checkers.
but he can look it up.
Yeah, George, look up.
I turned it off my computer.
Oh, is it dying?
Yeah.
You losing battery? We got plugs on the table.
That's what the plugs are for.
Sorry. No verdict yet on the Trump.
Of course not.
The Trump fake case. No verdict yet. But what do they have going? Let's see.
What was that thing about the taxes thing they were talking about downstairs? Is that true?
What? The Texas?
No, taxes. Was
yes.
that true?
Yes. Let's see if we can find that one.
Are you shitting me?
So there's no verdict in the Trump case yet because they don't even know what the charges are, but they didn't come back with anything. They did final arguments today, and they're expecting the jury of all leftist assholes to come back with a guilty verdict on something that we have no idea. In the same news, De Niro has a meltdown. Robert dipshit, did I say that out loud? Oh, you know why my buttons aren't working to send it to your screen, Tim?
Why?
Because I didn't restart that program.
Oh, of course.
And it's going to ask me. Oh, yes. Now it's going to ask me to sign in and authenticate myself.
Sure, yeah.
We need to have an account for everything.
Get your retinal
these days.
scan.
I know.
A fecal sample and a genome test.
God, I hate this shit.
Tim.
Maybe the deep state's trying to shut you down. Conspiracy there. They're behind all the technical issues today.
Your mom is extremely proud of you. I said she's got a good young gentleman you got there. And she said, thank you. I'm extremely proud of him. And I am too.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm having trouble signing in. Just fucking sign in. Why?
George Washington spoke these words in 1788. No colony in America was ever settled under such favorable auspice as that which has just commenced at the Muskegon. if I was a young man just preparing to begin the world, or if advanced in life and had a family to make provision for, I know no country where I would rather fix habitation. This is in reference to Ohio.
You know what I like about having to sign into my own accounts is how much of a pain in the ass it is, and how quickly a 4-year-old could do it with a smartphone.
Yeah, the settling of Ohio began in 1788 with the arrival of 48 members of an expedition sponsored by the Ohio Company, purchased more than 1.5 million acres of the Northwest Territory from Congress. They chose what would become the city of Marinita on the Ohio River as their first settlement. Ohio's company mission was to help, along with the General Anthony Wayne, negotiated the Treaty of Greenville with the Native Americans in 1795, allowing for the settlement of the eastern and southern parts of the territory. Within 3 years, male population reached 5,000. The settlers were given the right to elect a House representative. The first meeting of the legislature was in Cincinnati in 1799, and the body elected Edward Tiffin as Speaker of the House and William Henry Harrison as the territory's representative to Congress.
I did not know that.
The area soon to be known as the state of Ohio continued to grow in population. 1803, Ohio was admitted to the Union as the 17th state. So anyone who thinks it's not a state is full of shit.
All right.
I'm
There
gonna
it is.
fact check it.
Robert De Niro.
He's a POS.
Didn't he just have a kid?
Is he wearing a
He's a piece
mask
of
in
shit.
that picture? Is that him?
He's wearing a mask.
Are you fucking shitting me?
Yeah.
It looks like.
What picture are we looking at?
The one that I would like to have work, but
Nope. I see half of it
check
off the
that up.
screen.
oh, I
Yeah.
do know why it's not working.
Yep.
I got the program working again. I did not click the.
The thing with the
You know, Larry's
thing.
not here in the shit. The show's just going to shit. People have said that earlier. I didn't want to point that out.
What?
But Larry, they were saying because all the tech problems and stuff, it's because Larry's not here.
Is
I
it
said
frozen
he's
again?
the tech guy.
Oh,
Larry, he's really the
tech
tech guy.
Oh, okay.
He's going for Tim's job.
Oh, okay. When in
Highly,
next life?
highly unlikely.
Yeah,
What life? This or
It-
other
it's
life?
like you driving a truck. Him doing what you
Oh,
do
I
is
can-
like
I
you
can
doing
drive a
what he
truck.
does.
I can drive a truck.
So did Joe Biden. He was an 18-wheeler driver. Do you know that? He also was in
he did
NASA.
not.
He was an astronaut
And
too.
his great
Graduated top of his
grandpa
class.
was eaten by
was it
Aborigines.
Was it 70?
All right, Tim.
Yeah, but he
Um,
graduated top of his class from the
anything from this point out, you're gonna have to pull up.
Uh-oh. What is going on?
It froze up again completely, and I'm not
and
even
this-
messing with it anymore.
De Niro's got a mask on?
He's got a mask on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So De Niro had a mask on, and he came out talking about how bad Trump is, and he's a bad man, and if he gets into office, he'll never leave. But he left the first term, but he'll never leave, and he'll be a dictator. Wait, are you doing
It's Larry.
confession through projection when you say that if Trump gets in, he will never leave and become a dictator? Because that's what your party that you're supporting
Okay.
wants to do. But yeah. So there's that, De Niro, and then he gets shouted down by people telling him that he's a nobody and his movies suck.
Mm-hmm.
And I would play it for you, but my computer froze up. But here's the thing: I wanted to play the video because he's literally reading off of a script.
He is. I saw
Cold. He's like cold
Yeah.
reading off of a script.
looking down,
He's looking down, cold reading
up
off
the
of it.
notes. Of course, let's watch an ad
Stumbles over a
first.
few words.
Let's watch an ad first. How about that?
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Shit. No,
And do you know,
come to you.
I feel so bad right now about De Niro because De Niro admitted that he is Albanian blood.
Sorry.
Fact check that.
Fact check that.
Italian.
Sicilian. But in
I said I couldn't hear the
1460,
tower.
when Ottoman Empire
Despicably
went
tried to keep the
all over
loser
Albania,
Trump.
There it
The
is. Here it
loser
is.
Trump in the
If I
White
get the-
House.
Triggering
And Trump
another.
inspired insurrection is
Move.
January 6th. Police officer Michael Fanone.
What is this doing? Oh my gosh, we're Max Headroom again.
On January 6th. January
Oh, wow.
Oh
What
my
a
gosh,
mess.
this shit.
Like a YouTube.
January
poop.
6th, while Republican lawmakers despicably tried to keep the loser Trump in the White
The
House,
loser Trump.
and Trump-inspired insurrectionists stormed the Capitol.
He looks like
Brave men and women
he's
from
about
law
the size of
enforcement.
Cindy Shaw. I bet.
No, hold on. I think somebody purposely set off their car alarm, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
what
for
happened.
sure.
Somebody purposely set off their car alarm while he was
Oh,
talking.
absolutely.
Yeah. And he was speaking, there's 3 sentences before this.
Yeah.
That gradually got people irritated and obviously.
While Republican lawmakers despicably tried to keep the loser Trump, in the White House,
Lie.
and Trump-inspired insurrectionists stormed the Capitol.
Lie.
Brave men and women from law enforcement put their lives on the line to defend this country.
Wait. Is that
Now
when they
we're
were ushering them in the doors? Is that when they were putting their life on? When they opened the doors and waved them in?
Hey, wait a minute. Isn't that just a conspiracy theory that was fact-checked by meta fact-checkers?
Don't believe your lying eyes
Guys.
when you see people waving people into the Capitol,
No, what do you
moving the
mean?
barriers
They
out
weren't
of
giving
it.
high fives to each other in plainclothes and all that, you know. I mean,
Can I
that's
set
just-
both of you straight?
Mm.
All that shit you're talking about is AI stuff. It's not real. All them
Oh.
waving in, that was AI stuff.
AI
Yeah.
generated fake
Yes,
stuff.
Yeah.
That explains
Yeah.
9/11, JFK,
Yeah.
and
Sorry, Ted. I had to
Yeah,
let
you
you
got
get.
me
You
there.
had to let
But I
you
mean,
all right.
the loser.
Yeah.
Donald
loser.
Orange Man.
You mean like the
Orange Man
AI?
is bad.
You mean
loser.
You mean like the AI stuff that's on your head in this picture where you're wearing your tinfoil hat?
Where's the picture at? I guess.
Up here.
It's just his bath towel. He likes putting
You're
the
wearing
towel
your
on.
Oh,
his
you
tinfoil
put
hat?
them on all of them. I can't hardly see it. Where's it at?
George is the only one not wearing one.
How come? Why didn't you? What are you giving George a break? Oh, there's every. I can't see that. Blow that up.
What do you
Don't trust your eyes.
What
That's-
picture
where
are
is
you
it?
do
Don't
this?
trust.
God damn it!
Don't trust your
Can we
lying
do
eyes.
that?
There you go.
Hit live on your thing.
No, I am blind.
You're not live. There.
There.
There it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
This guy.
How come Georgie got?
Because I didn't have a tinfoil hat that fit his head turned sideways.
Oh.
Everybody else's head was close enough forward that I could put it on forward.
I like Lazarus.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
and
they did that.
What do you get? What's?
Huh?
Oh, those are dots.
They did
for the
that to
don't
us
trust.
once.
That's funny.
You know, I caught a shot where Laszlo had his hand forward too. You see that?
That's funny shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
George, his alien hand.
Yeah, because it's conspiracy alien hand.
Three finger alien hand.
That's funny.
But they did that to us over on our fan page. They put a tinfoil hat on me after I said, "Hey, watch out! There might be another earthquake or something else. You might want
Yeah.
to prepare."
I saw that and I said I can do that better. Let me do it to 4 guys at once.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the
don't
rest
they
of
have
De
a-
Niro, or you do want?
Yeah. Go ahead. Let's hear this
Democracy.
idiot.
They are the true heroes. These guys are the true heroes. They stood and put their lives on the line.
You're an
For
actor.
these low lives, for Trump.
You're a piece of shit.
They lied under oath. Who lied under oath? What are you telling me? Excuse me?
Excuse me.
They lied under oath? What are you saying? They're traitors. You got. I don't know. I don't even know how to deal with you, my friend. I don't even know how to deal with you.
Go back to your script, De Niro.
Yeah.
Don't have an original thought because you're a monkey.
There were other ones
a
in there who
wind-up toy.
probably were in with them a little bit too, and they found a way to get around. Not these guys.
Hopefully this shows it all.
They stood there
It
and
gets-
fought
Gets better.
for us, for you. For you.
I think they're going to cut it off before he screams.
No,
And he runs
they
away.
fought for you, buddy. You're able to stand right here now.
This is CNN, so they're only going to show the good part. For
They
him.
are the true heroes. I'm honored to be with these two heroes today, from former Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn and
Isn't
former
one of them
Metropolitan
of those
Police
Capitol
Officer
police
Michael
officers that
Fanon.
was like talking about J6 all the time in front of Congress? Isn't he running as a Democrat? He's running as, I think he's running as a
Probably.
Democrat in Virginia somewhere.
I don't understand
Yeah.
why
Let me
are
find,
giving so much credit to De Niro. He is just
Nobody.
a person that lives all this life in Hollywood, and it
That's-
doesn't mean that you have here.
Right.
Did you notice that was the CNN clip where they
Yeah,
cut
it
just
was CNN.
they just cut the center part in where it shows where he actually got to make his points. The rest of that whole
Interaction.
moment there,
They're screaming at him.
there's a bunch of other stuff where there he gets screamed down.
Yeah, the whole rest of that interaction, he's being just bombarded with "you're a piece of shit, you're this, you're that."
I'm looking at the AP
You know,
right
I
now.
can't
There's
believe
ads
he's
everywhere.
still holding it back.
like 90% of like actors, you just got to separate the art from the artist. You know what I mean? Like Mark Hamill, you see that cringy video he posted like on Star Wars Day where he's with Biden. He's like,
yeah,
and Joe Biden's like, May the 4th be. What was that again? And then Mark Hamill's like, always or something.
Yeah,
when he was
cringy, dude.
Yeah,
totally.
JoJo's in the house.
JoJo's in the house.
Mm-hmm.
It's about freaking time.
Hey,
JoJo.
Nine's been in, but she's kind of quiet tonight. I don't know
She popped in right away at the beginning. Welcome, everybody. I would like to see all of that, but I can't because my computer froze up for the second time tonight. But let me tell you, this computer I came in today because I'm rearranging the studio as usual. I'm tearing shit apart and putting it back together, and in the process, across the table they couldn't hear last week. So I wanted to make sure that I could hear the audio. So I came in and I turned a couple screens on and figured I would just do this. And I went to hit play and got no sound coming out. So I had to work on that for about an hour and a half before I actually got to the 10 minutes of making sure that your guys' headphones were working fine. And yeah.
Larry
and so this computer is.
Larry would have had it done.
Right. Well, we can take a 7-minute break. And,
let's do that.
Things.
How the hell did Rocket Mortgage?
Yeah.
What is that? Came up on your Rumble.
Rocket Mortgage.
Yeah. What the,
did you refresh?
No, I did.
What do you mean came up on your Rumble? Because I was on my screen, Coffee, and I'm trying to pull up stuff.
No, he's actually skipping an ad.
No, it's fine. It was Tim. It was my fault.
Oh,
I'm watching Mosquito get rid of commercial now. What the fuck?
We're monetized. We get monetized. So
ads on Rumble are just amazing. You're like,
do I even
the
have
industry
a
of something doesn't want you to know this.
I know it.
If you're a real patriot, you need to see
all right,
this
let's.
now.
Do I have an overhead shot at least? Is the camera above you even on? I don't even have an overhead shot.
Oh,
it was on earlier.
I think those were the cameras on.
Trying to go to it. It won't show up.
Yeah. We're just having lots of fun.
Don't turn the camera under the table on. I don't have any pants on.
That's what I told you in chat. You can do whatever you want under the table. Just keep it under there.
Keep it on the table. All right. Let's just cut to the.
Well, you don't mean cut. Cut it means
you know what I
shut
mean?
off the show.
You know what I mean. Let's just
I
go
almost
to that.
clicked on close. You got me all discombobulated over here.
All right. We'll be back in a moment, guys. Enjoy the video.
Can you even shut off the
Who owns the Statue of Liberty, New York or New Jersey? It should be straightforward, but the island upon which the statue stands, Liberty Island, has been part of a long fight between the states over their river border and the islands between them, with rounds in the 90s, the 80s, the 30s, the 1830s, and possibly more beyond 2000. But to understand, we must first go back to the 1600s. New Netherland was minding her own business when England, using bigger navy diplomacy, made the Dutch colony hers. Here, the trouble begins, for England split New Netherland in twain, but not cleanly. The mess wasn't entirely England's fault. She was far away, and maps in the 1600s, while they weren't bad, they weren't good either. Thus, the charter-splitting New Netherlands reads, this indenture made the 4 and 20th day of June in the 16th year of... Okay, whereas by letter under patents of the Great Seal of England bearing date on or about the 12th day of... Okay. Did give and grant all that tract of land belonging to the westward of Long Island and Manhattan Island, and bounded on the east part by the main sea and part by Hudson's River, which said tract of land is hereafter to be called by the name of New Caesarea, or New Jersey. You pick. Ugh. Oh boy, is this not an easy read. Paragraph breaks, England. You should try them. This charter has uncertainty about the names of everything, wrong latitude and longitude numbers, and incomplete descriptions of the rivers. It's all a vague mess. For example, is this part of the Hudson River or not? The charter doesn't say. And bounded on the east, but where? And there's another part about several other islands, but which islands exactly? Like, say, Ellis Island and Liberty Island? England said, whatever, your problem now, and left the young colonies to 300 years of squabbling. New Jersey said the Hudson flowed out to sea, and her border ran down the middle of the river, like it does in every other colonial charter, and thus the islands Staten, Ellis, and Liberty were hers. But New York, the Empire State, disagreed. The Hudson River flows roundward, then onward. These islands, New York, and also the river, the whole river, and the piers you've built into the river. All New York, all belong to us. New Jersey didn't agree, but when borders are vague, bigger stick diplomacy rules. And with the wealthy and powerful city of New York at the heart of the conflict, New York got what New York wanted. When New Jersey asked, why don't we split the river? New York asked, why don't you make me? And also, where are my taxes from those peers? And also, this island is a smallpox quarantine now. And also stop hitting yourself. By 1832, New Jersey had enough and called in the Supreme Court. New York didn't show up, saying the court had no authority to settle a disagreement between the states, which sounds crazy now, but was kind of an unsettled question at the time because America was having power struggles with unruly states then, and New York blowing off the Supreme Court wasn't helping. Worse, if the Supreme Court ruled New York must share her borders, which seemed likely, New York would comply. Whoops, no, New York was going to tell the court to get bent. America, trying to grow up to be a powerful federal government, did not want this. So the Supreme Court decided to not take the case right now, maybe later, and then America used some political leverage to get New York to agree to settle the matter privately with New Jersey. Look, this is your decision. No need to get that Supreme Court involved in all of this, and no need for me to enforce their ruling. Isn't that better for everyone? So the two states haggled. New Jersey gave up her claims to Staten Island, and in return, New York agreed New Jersey's northern border extended into the river and down the middle, past Ellis Island, past Liberty Island, squeezing around Staten Island before going back out to sea. Aha! So the Statue of Liberty is in New Jersey. No, New Jersey also gave up Ellis Island and Liberty Island too, which seems like giving up a lot, but look, river access in the age of steamboats was a big deal, and sacrificing a couple islands to get her piers back was worth it. And America was happy because a power struggle between her and the states was averted, and everything was going to be smooth sailing. Anyway, both islands are New York enclaves inside New Jersey's border, which does make answering the question, where is the Statue of Liberty with in New Jersey, technically correct in the most pointless kind of way. Now, in the midst of all this, America noticed Liberty Island's rather strategic position, and she took it for herself as federal land and built a pretty star fortress upon it that could shoot in every direction. Look familiar? Later, when France sent America the Statue of Liberty as a symbol of their eternal friendship, a bond forged side by side in the heat of the young rebels' battle for freedom from the Empire, a bond America would surely #never forget. America said, I will put it right here, where it will be the first thing everyone coming to the United States will see. BFFs, France, BFFs forever. So the statue was put atop an old federal fort on federal land, and POW made a national monument. So America owns the statue? This opens a book titled What is Federal Land? Like, what does it mean for real, though? Which will be firmly closed as a story for another time. Otherwise, we will never finish this. It's still only the 60s, and we have yet to talk about the squabble over the land below the water. Yes, really. So back to Ellis Island for a moment, which 150 years after borders were supposedly settled, New Jersey claimed as hers again. Partly. See, in the 1800s, the island was yay big, but by the 1990s, it was yay big. And because the rivalries of youth never really end, New Jersey again brought in the Supreme Court. This time, New York showed up promptly. The added land New Jersey said was hers. New York disagreed, saying the embiggened island was still her island. Now, how did Ellis Island get bigger? Well, New York claimed while digging up the subways, she dumped the dirt here in New Jersey's half of the river. But her dirt, her new land, which is an interesting territorial acquisition strategy. But neither New York nor New Jersey could find any paperwork for the court to prove where the land came from. So how Ellis Island grew 3 sizes is just lost to history. But whatever, the court ruled everything above the water was New York and everything below the water was New Jersey, but if below became above New Jersey, it would be. And thus, this island belongs to New Jersey with just this little original part being New York, which is a sublime and ridiculous border that opens the door to one squabble remaining. Liberty Island was originally yay, but now it's yay, which means this part should be New Jersey, not New York. Though it hasn't been fought over yet, possibly because neither state has noticed, and while it would still leave Lady Liberty on the New York side, you know what would be on the New Jersey side? The gift shop. And the only thing more important than who owns the monument is who owns the gift shop for the monument. We will see. But as it is, within the waters of New Jersey, there's an island of New York that's federal land atop which the national monument of the Statue of Liberty stands. Oh, there's also Shooter's Island. The state border runs right through it. I'm not sure anyone noticed. It's a bird sanctuary run by New York. So whatever.
So whatever.
So whatever.
Who cares? Welcome back, everybody, to the show you've been waiting for all week since last Tuesday, because it's cool. Hit that thumbs up.
Where'd my picture go?
Where'd
There
your
it
picture
is
go?
again.
Oh, there it is.
The Tuesday Don't Trust Your Eyes rant.
Don't trust your eyes. The reason I said don't trust your eyes is because you got people like De Niro spouting off bullshit in New York, and somebody walks up to him in the crowd and just goes, they lied under oath. And he's like, who lied? What are you talking about? How dare you say that? How dare you say they lied?
I don't even know how to deal with
I don't even know how to deal with you, my
Let me go
friend.
back to the script.
for you,
They're fighting for you, buddy. They're fighting for you, buddy. They're fighting for you.
I don't know how
Yeah.
to deal with you, friend.
Realize I wanted to say with this don't believe your lying eyes is we have been indoctrinated from birth with all the things they surround us with, and I want people to take a step back and realize that a lot of things we believe are bullshit.
Not to derail you, but has anybody been watching? Has anybody watched the video game based series where the people are stuck in underground bunkers?
Yes.
Fallout.
Yes, and taught certain things based on whatever experiments the company decided they wanted to do with those people.
Yep.
That is such a good series for you have no clue what's true and other than what is told to you.
Correct. Kind of like are we living in a real Truman Show?
Yeah, I know,
I would say yes.
huh? Did you see I found proof that we live on a globe? Yeah, there was the one guy.
I heard you say that and I ignored it.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on my Facebook page.
Ignored it.
That's
I
fine.
just sent it to you. And
I
it
mean,
was
it's
by
one
a
of those things
person-
where we've been indoctrinated
Yeah.
from the time we walked into
Yeah.
a schoolroom that there's a ball
No,
on the
it's
desk.
proved by a guy that didn't work for NASA. So,
He
he
had a fisheye lens.
He had a fisheye lens. He threw up in the air off of a boat that turned the whole planet into a globe of water just as a plane flew over. So it was a perfect little boat sitting on top of a globe with the plane over the top. It was
That's
pretty
cool.
cool.
If we go into a Home Depot and I put something on the floor and put a camera on the floor and I put it 40 feet away, you know what'll happen? It'll disappear
Well, that's because
in the
they-
horizon, just like a boat. But then if we zoom in, it's right there.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, don't believe your lying eyes. And it's time now
Uh-oh.
dun, 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 for Strange History with Theodore.
I don't have a bumper.
Theodore is going to talk about today on the show Timothy Dexter.
Anyone here heard of Timothy Dexter?
I have not. I am ready to be schooled. School me.
Now, I got a question for everybody. What is the American dream?
Own a pink house
shit,
with
for
a
my
white
blue
picket
pills to work?
fence and a
Originally, it was for the
Yeah,
white picket fence and the
yeah,
nice house, 2
nice
cars
house.
in the garage, a wife and a couple of kids. That was the American dream
pink
to
houses.
live well.
And a cat.
Basically, yeah. You build your own wealth and you become successful off your own work.
Correct.
Mhm.
Well, Timothy Dexter takes that to the extreme. Okay. So this man, Timothy Dexter, was born in 1747. And as an average New England colonist of the time, he was uneducated, was a farm hand, and basically, he's just a regular commoner. But he is something special.
Okay.
He will be a modern day billionaire in the end of his story. So the first way you can get rich is by marrying somebody, right? So marrying somebody who's rich. And so Timothy married quite an older widow who has the most English name I can think of for a woman, Elizabeth Frothingham.
Frothingham.
He was a
Isn't that-
lord.
He was a lord.
Lord Timothy Dexter.
Love his hat. Love his hat.
Frothingham is when you leave the ham in a little too long and it begins to boil over. It's Frothingham.
Now, like anybody, and
What the fuck?
he wanted money and power. So
Yes.
he wanted to, have his own political career. And so he kept bothering and sending petitions to the local aristocrats, council.
The constabulary, if you will.
Constabulary.
Yes, yes.
And
quite
you know
right.
what? They got so annoyed that they made a wonderful, important new position for him: the informer of deer. So
The informer.
The informer of
deer.
what?
the informer of deer.
Of deer.
So he had to count all the deer in his local community, and Massachusetts. And guess what? How many counted? Zero.
Ah.
So, and after that, he was quite satisfied with his wonderful, illustrious political career. So he wanted to get rich, be a billionaire, one of the top guys.
Yes.
Right? So we had, back in the Revolution, we made our own paper currency called the Continental Dollar. And we used that to pay our...
commonly the Continentals.
Continentals.
Yep.
And they were just paper back then. We didn't have any silver or gold coinage. And, and that's what we used to pay our wonderful soldiers that were fighting the good fight against the Brits. And then suddenly after independence, we just realized that these were pretty much worthless, like, the modern U.S. dollar today.
Mm-hmm.
So Congress kind of felt bad for all the veterans that were stuck with all these amounts of worthless
useless
paper.
Continentals.
Yeah. And so they began to buy back.
There's one of those.
Wow. They began to buy back all these worthless paper. Well, Timothy saw this, and he bought crates and crates and crates of these dollars. And they're worthless, but he only paid fractions of pennies. And so when Congress decided to buy them, he became one of the richest men overnight.
Holy shit.
And so, him being, a billionaire and back then, he bought the most luxurious chateau, made 40 statues.
That was not a cuss word. That was a place.
Chateau.
Chateau,
yes.
yeah.
Chateau.
And
Chateau.
there's a picture of that.
And so he had commissioned 40 statues. One of himself, of course, with the description on it, the greatest philosopher of the Western world.
See, there's all his statues on top of the pillars and walls. Well, we didn't even script this shit, dude, and I'm giving you visual aids. Look at this.
And so, all the other elites.
You got to hire him as your PowerPoint guy.
Yeah.
And so, all the other elites and the rich people in his local Massachusetts area kind of really hated him because he was an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, they saw him as like a commoner, and
Right.
so they gave him purposely bad investment advice. For example, let me just look at my notes here.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted him to send warming pans. You know what warming pans are?
Oh yeah, for in the beds you put.
Yeah, in the
heat 'em
beds.
up.
But they
Coals.
told him
Yeah.
to send the warming pads to the Caribbean. And we all know how the Caribbean is. It's like nice there 24/7.
Yeah, it doesn't get really cool.
Right.
So he sends the shipment there. And the locals don't know what they are. So they use it as ladles for the molasses.
Oh my gosh.
And he makes bank.
And he makes 80% markup.
Oh my gosh.
That is.
It gets
good
better.
shit.
It gets better. This is
All
only
right.
the start.
I like it.
And so the elites were really not happy about that backfiring on them.
Yeah.
And though the next thing they told him was carry coal to Newcastle. Anyone knows about Newcastle was a giant coal mining area at the time.
Okay.
So he sent a giant shipment of coal to Newcastle, right?
Yes.
Mm.
And at that time, the miners at Newcastle
We're on
were
strike.
on strike.
Nice.
This guy's got some luck.
Dude, they're trying to fuck him over, and he's like,
making
you know what?
bank.
Making bank.
And so, he decided he didn't need any more advice. He would do stuff on his own.
Okay.
So his next greatest investment was herding hundreds of stray cats together and sending them off to the Caribbean. And it just so happened there was a rat infestation around there at the time. So
He's the hero, and
he
he's
made-
selling
he-
cats to
It's
everyone.
like printing money from just stray cats in Massachusetts.
Wow.
Wow.
And so, this is probably the best one. He bought every single whalebone in North America.
Wait,
Out of
what?
Whalebone.
Well, yeah.
And so,
Go ahead, Ted.
so at the same time, after he buys them all later, corsets, which is like made out of it's corsets.
Yeah.
It made out of whalebone became extremely popular in Europe,
Corsets.
especially France.
These things
Yeah.
for women.
Out of
Yeah.
whalebone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
out of
what they
whalebone.
made about.
And the
'cause it
dude
was
had bought up.
thin and flexible.
He
Yep.
bought
So-
up every whalebone he could find in North America.
Wow.
Yep. He
And then
converted
it
to
and then
women's fashion.
flipped it into the corsets.
Fashion industry was huge in the 18th century. You kidding
Oh,
me?
dude.
Huge.
Oh yeah, they had like the wigs, they had like the dresses that like made you look like a giant bouncy ball.
was the-
Yeah.
They had
what was
they had like the gallon of makeup, and you make you look like a ghost, like the red lipstick.
Oh yeah.
You had the fans.
So, all right. So is that the?
It's got to be
is
the
that the
luckiest
end?
guy.
no.
Okay.
It gets better.
All right. I'm loving it.
So
dig it.
you may think, wait a minute, is he smart? No, he's not smart. He once got in an argument with a guy that was making a statue of Thomas Jefferson that he wrote the Declaration of Independence, right? And so this argument gets so heated, Dexter believes that this actually happened, that he grabbed his long rifle and started shooting at the guy. And then he also, he thought himself as like nobility. So he hired a fisherman and a 18th century porn seller, a fisherman called Jonathan Plummer, which is also a very English name, to make wonderful poems. So I couldn't find any of the poems, but I would imagine they were.
Got one.
You got one?
Lord Dexter is a man of fame. Most celebrated is his name. More precious far than gold that's pure. Lord Dexter shine forevermore. His noble house, I used to read poetry. His noble house, it shines more bright than Lebanon's most pleasant height. Never was one who stepped therein who wanted to come out again. His house is filled with the sweet perfume, which sounds like he's got a little bit of an ego. Filled with rich furniture doth fill his rooms inside and out. It is adorned, and on top an eagle's formed. His house is white and trimmed with green. For many miles it may be seen. It shines as bright as any star. The fame of it is spread afar. Lord Dexter, thou apparently was the Lord. He was told everyone to call him Lord. Lord Dexter, thou whose name alone shines brighter than King George's throne, thy name shall stand in books of fame, and princes shall his name proclaim. Lord Dexter hath a coach beside. In pomp and splendor he doth ride. The horses champ the silver bit and throw the foam around their fit.
Wow.
Beautiful.
You're welcome.
All right.
All right. Final section.
Final section.
All right.
Give it to us.
He had a massive ego too.
Apparently.
Right?
Yeah. Oh,
so
yeah, seems like it.
Yeah. So he faked his own death and funeral just to see how many people would turn up.
I like this guy.
That's great.
And then 3,000 people showed up. But the best part about that is that he saw his wife wasn't crying. And so he jumped out of his casket and started hitting his wife with his cane.
Whoa. Wow.
And then, you know what? At the end of his life, he decided to make a novel or a book about his exploits called A Pickle for the Knowing Ones.
Wow.
And we had wonderful spellings such as philosopher, F-E-L-E-O-F-S-E-R, George Washington with J as a start, general with just J-N-R-L, and then no punctuation also. And so, of course, that thing sold off the shelves like, it was like a bestseller. And then for his second edition, he was
seriously sold off?
Yeah. And for his second edition, people were complaining about the lack of punctuation. He had an entire page at the end of his book with all the punctuation stuff. And it's saying, F you
Founder,
guys.
minister, printer, and knowing ones. Compare my book of first edition had no stops in it. I put enough here, and they may pepper and slot it as they please.
Wow.
That's the last page.
So, in conclusion, you can be as insane and not as smart as you can, but you can still achieve the American dream with wit and just a little teeny tiny bit of luck.
So do you think it went to he handwrite? He had to have handwritten it out.
Yep.
And then sent it to the printer.
Yep.
And they just did it exactly letter for letter.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, here you go. Here's the first page of the book, A Pickle. I am me, the first lord in United States of America, now of Newport. What it is there is no comma, no period, no
capitalization.
No weird capitalization. Of course, some of these might be old English words, but some of them are not spelled correctly.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Broken, all is well in love, and now begin to
don't hurt a cat, nor the mouse, nor the sun, nor the water, nor the
Yeah.
Then gone. It is. All
day
right, I've had enough.
Yeah. There
I feel like I'm reading
headache.
something off
There
of
you
that.
go. And then insert the
Saggy
punctuation as you please.
Any lasting legacy from Mr. Timothy Dexter?
No.
Any epilogue?
We all have his story to inspire us to work hard and believe in the American dream.
And even when you're an idiot, you can achieve.
He is known as the smartest man that ever lived in Massachusetts.
Wow.
Wow. Nothing. No
He
slight
was
on
in the right
Massachusetts.
place in the right time.
He was.
We have an expression to my country. In my country, they say, Mom, give me luck and throw me in the garbage.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You get luck.
And throw it in the garbage. Yeah, you could do it.
Well, I have a little epilogue here, if you don't mind, since you had me look up pictures. If you want me to read a little,
Go ahead.
it's a quick little. It's up to you. It's fine. You can say no.
Quickly.
Apparently, in a final act, in the last days of his life, Dexter sought to atone for his errors. He attempted to undo his sins, though the generosity of his will, his estates, was divided up equally between his children, wife, and friends, and left no one dissatisfied. After most of his wooden statues were knocked loose by a strong gale of wind in 1815, they were sold off at auction. Once purchased by Dexter for over $2,000 each, they fetched a despairing sum between 50 cents and $5. In a final act by society to admit Dexter from its affairs, Newburyport's Board of Health rejected his request to be buried in the tomb he'd concocted years earlier on the grounds that it wasn't sanitary. Instead, the Lord was laid to rest in a quaint cemetery in the hills where wheatgrass quickly engulfed his headstone.
You don't get to be buried in that place because your dead body would be in an unsanitary situation.
They didn't want to leave his big mark on society by having this big tomb to him, and he's now underneath some wheatgrass.
And this has been Strange History with Theodore.
We need to make a bumper for you, man. That was great.
That was great. Very good. That was good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's catch up on chat, Mr. Coffee.
Oh, they're
Here,
on
something
sleep.
new for De Niro.
Did you send me that?
Yeah, I'll send you.
It's a
There's
clown.
couple of them.
Hunter Biden is the smartest man that Joe Biden has ever known. Noon?
Oh, I got to show.
Knew. Ever knew. Ever known. Ever known.
What are you going on to next? Because I wanted to show you something.
What are you going to show me? I want to
You-
talk about
all right.
stores closing
Did
and the
you
best
get-
economy ever.
Okay.
Come on, man.
All right, I'm going to
Inflation
show
was
you guys
10%,
this. Did
and
you?
Come on,
it's
man.
down to 1.
Yeah, come on, man.
I got to show you
Look at
guys this
this.
because I don't have time to send to Jeremy. But
That's it.
you see that? Remember they were bitching a few days ago about one of the Chief Justice or whatever.
Yeah.
Alito.
This flag.
Oh, appeal to
Do
heaven
you
flag.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you know
The
what
tree
the
flag. Yeah.
You know what the Saggies want to change it to? Let me show you.
Appeal to the.
No, I saw this on X by one of the. That's what they want to change this to. Okay.
And what?
The
What the
female
fuck?
organ.
Female organs, vagina.
Why would they change it to
uterus.
that? They want those cut out of half the people that they deal with.
No, we're talking about the
the-
abortion thing or whatever.
Mhm.
And there was a long story about whatever, and they go, "That's what they want to change it to." Isn't
Why?
that cute?
Why don't they change it to like an appeal to science or something, since they believe in that so much?
Why don't they just invent their own shit instead of fucking? I mean, they took the regular gay flag and they've ruined that with all the different
Oh, of
V's
course.
going across. Do your own thing. They can't do their own thing.
Well,
Like make your own appeal to heaven flag. That
Oh,
it's just.
well, speaking of people who fuck things up.
Oh.
Uh,
yeah, right.
Um,
Somebody put that on my page, right?
This is since Tim. This is Bob. Bob pretends for a living.
Right.
Sometimes Bob pretends to be tough and edgy, but Bob isn't tough and edgy. Bob is just another butthurt snowflake.
Mhm.
Don't be a Bob.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Little Bobby De Niro.
I'm not seeing the. Oh wait, was the flag that was outside? Was it outside his office?
That was his vacation home in
it-
Florida.
Or his
and that
house.
flag goes back. I read it today. It goes back to George Washington used it to, or whatever. For
Yeah, this is
transfer
the
against
appeal
the
to
king.
heaven is the green tree. This is for everyone out there. This is what he was.
Yeah.
Coffee was showing on his laptop was the green tree. They wanted to change it to an appeal to another imagery.
Yeah, of
Uh,
all flowery female
But,
biological organs, but it's all flowery and rosy, rainbowy.
Actually, the history of that tree, it's kind of funny. There is a couple white supremacist groups that have tried to take ownership of it. I watched a video over this last week that was, I think it was 12 ways America can rip itself apart.
Yeah.
And it was
Here's Bobby the
Oh,
Clown.
Bobby the Clown. There you go.
I sent to you something very interesting, and it's somebody who was talking about the people that resist to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
And it starts with, even if I was fully vaccinated, I would admire the unvaccinated for resisting.
Was that the video you sent me?
No, it's just text.
Just the text, because there was a whole video on it. I didn't bother downloading it tonight, but let's look at this right there. I'm not going to touch that one yet. Okay.
Oh, there it is. I found it. I was trying to find the video I was watching in my history.
Okay.
On it's 12 ways the USA will destroy itself. It's on YouTube, but in there actually had that flag. But the video is only a month old.
Okay.
See if I couldn't find it. It was really good.
All right, I want to play this one.
Yeah, go ahead. When you bring it up.
Sorry. Where's my audio? I have the audio turned up. What is that? There it is.
Dollar is closing 600 stores.
I'm going to rewind it.
Stores that are closing in 2024. Closing all 540 remaining stores after filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Route 21.
Family Dollar is closing
Family
600
Dollar.
stores in the first half of the year. Party City is closing all 45 of their remaining stores. CVS is closing 900 stores by the end of the year. Foot Locker is closing a total of 400 stores in underperforming mall locations. Closing all 360 remaining stores after filing for bankruptcy.
We lost ours
Christmas
a year
Tree
and a half
Shops is closing all 73 of its remaining
Didn't know that
stores.
store
Rite
existed.
Aid has already closed 231 locations this year. Best Buy are closing 15 of their locations. Closing all stores as part of a shift to online retail. Closing all 371 locations makes sense considering the economy. Express closes 95 of its stores as part of its bankruptcy restructuring. Walgreens is closing 150 stores by August. H&M is planning to close 240 stores globally, closing 50 stores in 2024 and potentially more if they don't find a buyer. The discount retailer has closed all of its nearly 200 stores following its bankruptcy filing.
Wow, do the math on all those jobs lost.
Those are the jobs that Biden created in
Come on,
2024.
come on, man. It's
Are
the greatest economy, man. It's the greatest economy ever.
I was when I was vice president.
Yeah.
Inflation was at 1,500%, and then it went down to negative, and that's what America's all about, Jack.
And then listen, Trump's bad.
Yeah. And I helped Ukraine. And I helped my Ukraine's economy go up 100 billion. And Zelensky, great guy. He was a
Plays piano with a penis. That's talent. It's pure talent.
Yeah, he is great.
Playing piano with a penis. That's talent.
He come with his wife in US and she stopped in a ring store, jewelry, and she bought $1 million ring.
Nice.
Oh no, just ignore that. Our favorite president from our favorite European country bought a bunch of vacation homes. One on the Red Sea in Egypt, and his country is known for being the most corrupt, even during wartime. The people were saying there's a Russian offensive in a Kharkov region. They were supposed to be a long line defense for that, and guess what?
They never built it.
Wasn't built.
Oh man!
And then we have to hear Zelensky every 2 months be like, "Hello, Biden.
Hello.
It's Zelensky. We need $500 billion to bomb Donetsk children. Slava Ukraina."
I have so many Nazi people that are ready to step up.
Charlotte.
What do you got to catch us up in chat there?
Oh no,
Coffee?
Charlotte was doing an imitation of Joe. You know that thing.
Oh yeah. I have
a retraction.
You know the thing.
Correction.
Correction.
I have a retraction and correction.
You got an erection.
What?
Don't know. I have wood over here.
Solid erection. Wow.
Yeah,
no,
it's a
he's talking about
different
the
tree
desk that I
flag.
built.
This is the sovereign white nation tree flag.
Oh.
It was a different tree flag.
Oh, okay.
And in this video I was watching, it had to do with a nation that, in this video, 12 ways the U.S. can rip itself apart. There was the British Columbia, Washington, Oregon combination, which is a lot of resources.
Yep.
That was talking about a secession called Cascadia, and the Cascadian flag had this tree on it. So I had my tree flags messed up.
We are not
Interesting video though.
It's very good.
Yeah.
We
Sovereign white nation. Huh?
We are not allowed to question. You're
I'll
not allowed to question.
link that video in chat.
Very good. We're not allowed to question anything over there. Don't believe your lying eyes. But this chart here, this chart shows the Bedar. This chart here shows. What's the Georgia accent?
Right?
Now I was thinking of the Georgia accent. You know, I can't read in my own voice.
Georgian accent, like a Southern belle.
Yeah, this chart here shows the bizarre differences in
Really drippy.
Democrat vote results. Why did these 4 counties in Georgia have 20 to 50% more votes in 2020 than in 2016 when other strongly Democrat counties, quote unquote strongholds, barely reached 7% increase? Why would that be?
AI, man.
Does anybody know? Does anybody know what it is? Cook County, Illinois, Fulton, Georgia, DeKalb, Georgia, Gimminet. These are weird names.
I was just gonna say, who comes up with these?
I think some of them are taken from the indigenous people.
Could be.
Yeah.
There's got to be people behind
Cobb.
those names.
But the last one's taken from a baseball player, apparently.
Cobb.
Ty Cobb, Georgia.
Going on the Cobb.
Going on
cornfield.
You on cornfields down there? You on,
What happens when you have a food fight in his family? You get corn on the cob.
Ohio was at the list there. Was that Cuyahoga? Oh, Cuyahoga. You know, some things you know how to say, but then you got to read them.
I know, it's
and you're like, wait a minute, what is that? That screws me up when we do karaoke because I'm like, I know how this song goes.
Have you ever
and then
seen
you start reading, and then you're reading the words, and you're like,
Have you ever seen how the word hors d'oeuvre is spelled? It's absurd.
hors d'oeuvres.
It's spelled horty-hor.
Hors d'oeuvres. And then how about like lasagna?
Oh yeah, sure.
What is that?
Lasagna.
Yeah,
But it's spelled lasagna.
Lasagna.
Oh, okay.
How about goulash? Spelled goulash.
Have you ever met that dude George? Have you seen how his name was spelled? It's fucked up.
I like George's name. George.
Like George, like
George.
how Timothy
George.
Jason spells
Hey,
it.
How's George spell his name?
My name is fucked up in English.
It
In
is.
Albanian, it's perfect.
It's perfect.
That's good.
Way to say it, Georgie. I love it.
That's good.
Could you
So there's
spell
the
your name
George-
in English for us? I want you to know. How are we supposed to spell it
Do
in
you
English?
want me to pronounce or to spell it?
Spell it.
Spell it.
Yeah.
G-J-E-R.
Wait, slower. I got to type this shit.
G-J-E-R.
G-J-I.
No, G-J-E-R.
G-J-I.
Wow.
G-J-I.
I'm with whoever said his name is fucked up.
That's how you spell
spelled.
Georgie's name. And we call him George. That's literally
Actually,
what he said.
on the show, for clarification, I call him George, but whenever I see him,
Georgie.
most of the time, face to face, the first time I see him, I say Georgie.
Georgie.
Okay, is that how you? All right, how do you say your name in Albania? Georgie.
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 G and J make. See, Albania has
No, that's all right.
G and J is G. Georgie.
That's cool.
There are a couple of letters that get together.
How come we Americans have fucked up like Weinert? My grandparents' name is actually Weinert.
Weinert, yes.
Yeah. Why do we mess up?
Weinert.
Why are we so fucked up?
Because you got to do a deep study on the English
I got
language.
a good one.
The
I don't
English
want to.
language.
I just want to know why we're fucked
No,
up.
I got a
because
good
the
one.
English language is a bastard adaptation of
is.
all languages.
Yeah, I got a good
all
one.
the slang and shit.
Well-
When I had German buddies over there,
All of our languages, at least in Europe, and
Right.
are Indo-European.
Indo-European.
Yep. And
Okay.
what's funny about Albanian is that it's its own language branch because it's Illyrian. It's separate from any other thing. They have their own, English is technically West German. We are a branch of the Germanic language.
Mm-hmm.
but you know what's really? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh,
Go
well,
ahead.
I'm not
Go
supposed
ahead.
to be full screen.
When
Holy
I
crap.
was, I'm sorry, Tim. Didn't mean to cut you.
No. I just went full screen instead of the webcam.
What were you going to say, Tim?
I know I got a good one about fucked up names.
Oh,
And you guys know this one. Macaulay.
Macaulay.
You know what that is, don't you?
Macaulay.
Macaulay. You know what Macaulay is
Sounds like
in English?
clearing your throat.
Macaulay?
Yeah.
Wallace. It's William Wallace. Macaulay.
Oh, when they're calling it out, yeah.
Wallace.
Macaulay,
Wallace.
yeah.
Wallace.
It's very,
Wallace.
it's very
that
interesting.
Probably some
Macaulay.
French indicated in that name.
I like the people in church that are all hung up on the Jesus where they got to say Yeshua. Oh, we pronounce Yeshua.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Zionists.
And then you look at them and go, let's turn to the book of John. And they go, which one's that? And I go,
John. Matthew, Mark.
Oh, so we're going to say
Luke,
John and
John.
James, but we're not going to say Jesus.
It's so, I don't know. People call him Yeshua. People call him.
Oh, but they get hung up on it. Like if I don't pronounce it correctly.
What do they call him? The freaking. The witnesses.
Yeshua.
Jehovah. They call him Jehovah.
Well,
some people call him Elohim.
That's God the Father.
Yahweh.
You know how screwed up it was when I was like.
No, I don't, but Yahuwah. Yeah.
Go,
How screwed it was when I was a young man and I was like early teens and I was on the East Coast. And during the summer, we'd go to the West Coast.
When
My dad was
Washington
in
crossed the river. Yeah.
Simple things like the color of your socks. One side, white socks is cool. You wear them on the other side. You're a nerd.
Or gay.
The slang, even as a kid, fox on one side is hot chick, you know? So, and the other side, it's snake, believe it or not. Oh, she's a snake. Not that she's bad, but on this side, no, snake means you're bad. And then you take all that shit and you go to Europe and they're like, what the fuck you talking about? The German guys or whatever, because you're using all this fucked up slang. Oh man, she's a fox. And they're like, what the fuck's wrong with
Whatever you do,
the slang?
do not look up the British word for cigarette.
What? Wait a minute. What'd you say?
I said
British
do not
word.
look up the British slang term for cigarette.
It's fag.
Fag.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we know
And
this.
I'm not offended by that because
No.
I'm gay
and black.
and black.
Well, you are a.
Well, right now I'm feeling Latino.
Latino feeling today?
Yeah. Pardon me?
You know,
A little bit.
did you put your pronouns on your shirt?
Oh no, but I forgot to tell you. Check this out.
Yeah.
My
Tell us,
lapel pin. I got this at heart. I forgot to say it. Look at that. I got that at Tiffany's. Is that cool? And you got to see the next one I wear from Wes's. I couldn't wear them. I said,
I have one
can I
for
wear them
you.
both? She don't. So what were you gonna say
I have
about
one
Fox?
for you that I got in
A pin? Lapel pin?
the Crystal Garden. I was there night for dinner.
What were you gonna say about the Fox thing before you forget?
Fox. Okay, usually Fox in our side of the town, I'm talking over there in Europe, is a smart person.
Okay. Well, yeah. Smart as a fox.
Yeah.
Sly Fox.
When I
Sly
moved from Albania and I spent a lot of time in Austria. We were a couple of single guys that were renting a room in a big house, and the owner of the house was a lady that she was very well rounded. She knew about a lot of
300
things.
pounds. Okay.
And
Would you mute yourself?
Would you mute him?
Finish your story, Jordan.
she used to tell me old fox.
Oh.
You are an old fox, used to tell me all the time. In German, it's alte Fuchs.
Alta Fuchs.
Yeah. But old fox. And I don't know why. Because you're a guy that you listen all day long, you say 3 or 4 words and you leave out.
Alta Fuchs. Well, isn't German a fun language to like be? You don't even have to be angry if you just start speaking in
Sounds
German.
bad,
It just
yeah.
sounds angry, like
But
you're
it's
cussing at somebody.
My grandfather.
It depends of the region where they speak it. Because if you go in Vienna, Austria, the German language is more like
It's softer.
something softer and relaxed. And if you go
Right.
in the northern part over there by Salzburg,
Gets
it's
kinda angry.
completely different. It doesn't get angry, but it's different. And if you go in Germany, in different parts of Germany,
I was down in the Trier region by Luxembourg.
there are a lot of region they speak German language, and they speak like Arabic people with a that comes from here.
Like
Watch
you're
your
gonna get
microphone.
phlegmed.
Yeah,
Like you're gonna get phlegm on you.
yeah, it comes from deep inside.
Yeah.
Before we get too far from language references, we were warned not to look up the British fag reference. Do you know why fag was associated with homosexuals? How they got named that, and it's the cigarette.
No.
Yes.
You do. Okay. Coffee doesn't.
No, I don't.
I don't too.
The original witch hunts that they did, the where they were burning witches.
Like Salem shit?
Yeah, yeah. The original association of calling homosexuals fags is because fag actually means a little kindling stick or burning stick. They actually used to use homosexuals they knew to stoke the fires and throw them on the fires before they burnt the witches.
Whoa, really?
Yep.
Fact check that shit.
That's how
bunch of fags
that got associated.
Because
they used to burn them before they burnt the witches.
I was looking on online, and I was looking in a couple of books that have vocabulary, and I couldn't find the word faggot. How do you spell it?
Fag,
Faggot or fag?
And faggot, F-A-G-G-O-T.
Yeah.
All right, somebody
Small
wants
stick.
to know. Somebody wants to know. How do you pronounce the Dominic Rostoshia's last name? That
Rosacea.
Rosacea?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Is that like that skin rash? Like rosacea?
I got it, man. You gotta check that.
I muted you so you can put it back on. Rosacea. Dominic Rosacea. Let's look at this while Coffee's composing himself. If they can investigate Trump's finances, they can investigate these politicians becoming millionaires. If they can investigate Trump, why can't they investigate all of these mother truckers? Bernie Sanders there at the bottom.
Yeah.
He likes to do things the socialist way. That's a good way.
Uh-huh.
You know, why do you need so many deodorants? You just need
I can't
one.
believe my sister's neighbor in North Carolina in the first 2 years
She's
ago,
a Bernie bro.
she was like, I like
She likes Bernie.
Yeah.
Because Bernie stands for nothing that he says.
Yeah.
He has millions of dollars and 3 homes that are worth millions of dollars, and yet he tells you that you should live in poverty because it's good.
We need a political revolution.
A political
where
revolution.
the top 1%, except for me, are taxed on their wealth to the bottom 99%.
You know, they say that bread lines are bad, but at least you got bread. That's good.
He got bread today.
Bread is good. He got bread,
He got
but he
a lot
didn't
of
have to
bread.
stand in line.
He was the top 1%.
He
for the day.
is.
That's the only thing.
That's the only thing. Coffee, you getting caught up?
I was answering somebody.
Answering the
You guys ever heard that
questions.
song, Throw another log on the fire. Cook me up some bacon and some beans. Didn't I take your sister out driving last night? Did you ever see that song?
I never seen that.
Them?
song.
No. I bet you this person.
Georgie sent me something this week. He's like, play this one on the show. I was like, George, I'll get copyright struck for that shit. He's like, well, just play the music. I'm like, that's what I'd get copyright struck on. He's like, I want you to play.
Yeah, no, I didn't know. It's not my field. I was like, you
I know,
can
it's
play
good.
whatever
It's
you
good,
want.
buddy. They need to, if they're going to investigate Trump, they need to investigate the rest of these pieces of shit out there. And they're not doing that. Last thing before we go to this, and I'm going to prepare you guys. I want to know as we end the show tonight in the chat, get ready in the chat. I want to know your favorite conspiracy theory. Because I don't want you to believe your lying eyes. But I want the guys to go around the table and just briefly tell me
The one I
why
believe?
you're. Yeah. We're gonna
The
get
one
to,
that I fell for?
Well, I want you to do that, but
Well, which one do you want? Because I didn't. fall
I
for
want
any
the
of
one
COVID
that
shit.
is your favorite. You know what? I want to know the conspiracy theory that you think is the best for you. Whatever one you think is the one you want to talk about, that'll be fine.
Okay.
I was trying to tell the guys, like, do this. Before we do that, I want to see this chick right here. This comes to us from Libs of TikTok. And this is the superintendent of the Denali National Park in Alaska, Brooke Merrill.
Oh, I've seen that.
She told construction crew workers at the park that they couldn't fly the American flag from their trucks or equipment because it detracts from the park experience.
What?
And so they ended up sending a little letter here. Let me see if I can get it to go full screen.
Send it to her. That letter from the Senate.
And as I make it bigger, it stays the same fucking size.
Yeah, it does that.
I can't read it. Anyways, I read it earlier
Right here.
to myself.
Right here.
Oh, I can read it this way.
There you go.
On the eve of Memorial Day weekend, a matter of very significant concern has come to my attention, and I am requesting your immediate response. As you know, a major construction project is underway in the Denali National Park and Preserve to build a bridge at mile 45 of the park road, an area known as Pretty Rocks, one of the vehicles involved in the construction had a 3-by-5-foot American flag affixed to it while working on this project. For reasons that remain unclear, someone at the National Park Service caused the construction crew to remove the American flag from their vehicle. This is an outrage, particularly in the lead up to our most solemn national holiday, Memorial Day, a time when Americans come together to honor those that gave their lives in service of our nation while wearing our country's flag. The American flag, especially on Memorial Day weekend, should be celebrated, not censored by federal government employees. There is no federal regulation or law that can conceive of that would ban the flying of the American flag on public land, particularly in a national park, the principal purpose of which is to for the enjoyment of American citizens. I request that you immediately investigate this incident to figure out exactly what transpired, including whether there was a request made by the National Park Service contract that made by the contract prohibiting the contracted employees from flying the flag, and the circumstances in which the incident was handled and by whom. I also request you outline what concrete steps, be they increased training, clearer guidances, updating policies, that the National Park Service will take to ensure an incident like this does not happen again in American parks.
And then nothing ever happened because stern letters don't get us anywhere.
Well,
it's like the UN.
I'll tell you what, putting it on little podcasts like this all across the country, because somebody posted on the libs of TikTok posted on X, will gain momentum, and you'll be shamed in public. What do you say, buddy?
On this second paragraph here, the Queen says, I got pretty rocks. Oh, that's an area known as Pretty Rocks. Never mind. She always said I got. Never mind.
You're talking for.
I heard you have saggy rocks, but that's something else. I don't even.
Casey has no clue.
Casey said he's got pretty rocks.
Yeah, she likes my rocks, don't you, Casey? I know you're listening.
They are.
Maybe we should color some rocks and give it to Coffee for his yard. Make them
Colored
pink.
rocks.
Pink.
Maybe rainbow ones too.
Yes.
You know,
they paint the little rocks at Harlan School and they put them up next to the door. Little rainbow rocks.
They thought that the children were, a little weird when they wanted to have pet rocks. The guy who invented pet rocks made millions. But the kids that had pet rocks, they're like, "Why do you just go get a rock out of the yard and I'll give you some paint and you paint it?" No, I want to get one of those pet rocks. That's like the story. I wish we could go back to those days, because now they paint themselves and tattoo themselves and cut off their genitals, and that is far worse than having.
What was the other toy that had a name? Whatever one you bought, like the rock, would have a name.
Yeah,
already there. Well, there was another one in the 80s or 90s or something.
The rocks already had names on
the
them?
rocks. A
Rocky
toy
the Rock?
that came with.
Some
of the Beanie Babies had the name. Each Beanie Baby had a different name.
Well, so the Cabbage Patch Kids, the Cabbage Patch Kids all had individual names.
There you go, that one too.
Now we've got one being a spokesman there at the former vice president's White House. Karine Jean-Pierre.
Oh,
yeah, she's a Cabbage Patch.
That went over my head.
It did. So, favorite conspiracy. Who wants to start?
Go with Ted. I haven't even thought of that.
Ted told me one of his favorite conspiracy. Ted, he was like,
"Go ahead, Ted. So maybe
I
that'll
got
fire me
15. Narrow. What do you want me to narrow it down?"
Well, now I don't believe in this, but there are some people that think the Roman Empire still exists and is working in the shadows to actually control the Western world.
Okay.
This is a real conspiracy.
Go with that one again, because I was thinking and I couldn't do two things in one, like listening.
So people think that the Roman Empire still exists and is controlling like the West and Europe from behind the scenes or something.
Yep.
Or a shadow Roman Empire.
They expect it to reemerge. It's called the revived Roman Empire. It's based in a misinterpretation of biblical prophecy. You are true. You are correct, sir.
You are correct, sir. Thank you, George. You're next.
Well, the conspiracy theory.
I know, I'm lost.
What's your favorite?
I have a friend of mine that he told me a lot of them. And at the first moment, I didn't believe him that he was saying that for some reason we throw aluminum powder in the sky.
Chemtrails. Yep.
Oh, he didn't. You didn't believe that?
I didn't know. I didn't
Mhm.
believe in it. I told him, "What is the reason?" And he said, "Military does that because the connection when they communicate is getting better,
Yeah.
and so on." So his first conspiracy theory turned to be a reality. Now another conspiracy theory that is telling me is that they are building a lot of tunnels under the ground, and they have a machine that they can dig 20, 30 miles a day of tunnels. And if you see when they did the canal under between France and England,
The Chun.
they use some very heavy equipment machines that they are drilling through the ground, but takes forever. He is telling me that right now they have some that they don't even drill. It
Laser
needs,
shooting?
Not laser, some heat
Oh.
that is created with nuclear power, and they melt the rocks and everything that is under the ground, and they put like a cover for the tunnel. You know how they put the concrete after they build tunnels? The structure, earth structure, is not very strong. This is what they're saying, and I don't know. So
I
far,
would disbelieve that because
They're
I
doing some
wouldn't
crazy
disbelieve
shit up
that.
there.
I'd be like, that sounds feasible.
and the other thing that you're saying, those tunnels are built to store and to hide all the kids that get lost.
Absolutely.
The old way of doing the tunnels, I remember seeing on a documentary, this big,
Yeah.
and it's, I mean, you could put, through that hole, you could put 2 trucks.
Correct.
And it's just slowly spinning, and the gravel goes out the back on a conveyor all the way out.
Conveyor all the way to
Yeah.
the end. The head is with a big chunks of carbide inserts. And this is all.
And they show the 2 guys that, and they did it from both ends, and they meet exactly, and the guys are reaching through. Yeah, it's amazing. They meet exactly. So, and that's old technology, so I can believe that they're melting
That was
dirt.
the channel.
The channel.
Channel, because it was the
Channel
tunnel underneath the channel, the English Channel.
Well, if you look at a certain little conflict going on right now, one side, they're in a little strip of land that shall not be named, Gaza. They have hundreds, if not thousands, of square miles of tunnels dug underneath there. And these people are like blockaded. They can't get any modern equipment. So they've been digging for decades. And they have probably the most elaborate tunnel system.
Look at this. I typed in the word dumbs, and then I typed in DU. I spaced it out.
You can put it up.
Dumbs. And these are the results that I get is dum-dums licorice. But listen, if nobody knows what a dumb is, deep underground, can't spell, underground military storage.
Yep.
So when you type it under there, it actually comes up.
See that one on the far right in the top? Far right, top. The one that's got grass on it, far right.
Far right top.
The top right there.
Concrete.
That's an igloo that I was talking about. The priority ammunitions are stored in, and I bet you inside the world's largest underground supply. Oh, that's a community. They use that's a berm, that's old berm. And I guarantee you it was for munitions, priority ammunition.
So when George starts talking about digging tunnels underneath there, realize what these tunnels are for. These tunnels are to store military bases, to house troops, to do whatever they need to do in the case of a nuclear attack. These are throughout the United States.
If you used to have back, you know what's really interesting, real quick while you're typing in. If you typed in Retzoff salt mines, I worked in the salt mines for 3 months in Retzoff, New York. And you wouldn't believe how deep, how big the tunnels were, as wide as from there to there, as high. And they'd go out, and we drive. I was on a rat crew, and we were driving. If you bring it up, it's amazing underneath when you're under there, and then it would go to the railroad, whatever. It was when we would go out.
What was the name of that one again?
To the end, Retzoff Salt Mines, RETS Salt, SOLF. New York, Retzoff Salt Mines. And they used a Stamler. It was a big machine. It was only be, Look, there you go, right there, that one. Okay, see that machine right there? It's like a big bulldozer.
Yeah.
To get that rock, and it's gray, it's for roads. So to get that rock, he would take that and dump it on a conveyor belt going about. If it was far enough in the mine, a stammer that was about as high as where the shovel is tall, real short, only about 5 feet, but it was really long. If you typed up stammer variant, it would load onto the stammer and it would drive and dump. So that guy, but I worked in that salt mine.
There's one.
And it's freaking
amazing
when you're in there. And what they used to do as a rookie, they go, okay, guys, unload, and you'd unload. You know, and he goes, you're going to have to take your safety hats off for a second. We put them on the back of the truck and he'd drive off pitch dark. I mean, you ain't got no light. Like, don't move. And he was just fucking with you. Fireball was his name. I mean, there is no light when he drove off. You'd see it going way off. And that's what you see right there.
Well, tunnels are the cheapest and easiest way to counter air power and nukes.
Here's another quick one for you.
Yeah.
It was a bad winter. I only worked there 3 months, the most money I ever made in my life. I was bringing home, it's 1974, I was bringing home $705 after taxes. It was a bad winter. Wasn't no snow. So they laid us off. And I was like, fuck, I got to do something. I'm 18 years old. I joined the military, right? From New York. And then I went to Seattle for Macy Station. When I'm in basic training, my mom sends me a clipping from the paper. The rat crew that I was in, they used to use crowbars called scaling. You'd have a big crowbar. It's like 15 foot long. You shove it up there and all five, you go, boom, and you drop the rock. They hit a spark and a methane. They all got killed, 15 of them. The crew I was on.
8 of them got killed when I was working as a head of maintenance department in a coal mine.
It's fucked up, hard ass work. It's hard work. But
the methane gas.
Oh, that'll take you out. Conspiracy theory is the explanation of an event or situation that asserts the existence of a conspiracy by powerful and sinister groups, often political in motivation, when other explanations are more probable. Oh, that's from Wikipedia. When other explanations are more probable. You know what? Sometimes other explanations are just bullshit. When you start to actually look at everything. I'm about to get to yours. That's why I wanted to do that one, so we can get to yours. The term generally has a negative connotation, implying that there's an appeal of a conspiracy theory is based on prejudice, emotional conviction, and insufficient evidence. Not true. It was invented by the CIA. That's not in this article because Wikipedia is Wikicia. Wikipedia, CIA is heavily involved in Wikipedia. That's why it cracks me up every time they ask for money when you go on there to check out something, because I'm like, you're the people that sell drugs throughout the world to fund yourself. And Congress just passed a law saying that these, or they're working on passing a law saying that these intergovernmental agencies such as the CIA and FBI, if they make money apart from the government, they don't have to be accountable to the government, to the representatives anymore, because their money's not coming from them. So if they make their own money, which the CIA has been doing since the 50s, by other means, then they're completely exempt from accountability. They can't even be called to Congress to account for it. Mr. Coffee, what is your favorite?
My favorite is where I didn't believe it, and it's like what Georgie said, and it was confirmed through you guys when Tennessee just a couple of weeks ago passed a law and it stopped. And an old friend, see if you're listening, once again, I'm giving you a prop on the fucking chemtrails. 5 years ago, she was bitching about that. She lives in Kentucky. Used to work with her at Home Depot. And I'm like, being nice, I would never say like, oh, quit being goofy. And she'd show pictures, you know, of the trails in the sky. And I was thinking back now, I'm like, yeah, if I would have been using my, like that in squares right over. And I'm like, just like that.
That's where he's pointing to.
Right. And then I was still skeptical, but then on InfoWars before you did it, they were talking to a guy that mixes fuel. And it's not the pilots or whatever. The guy that mixes the fuel came on there and says, we're putting shit in the fuel. Pilots don't have nothing to do with it. They're just flying a fucking plane. But 5 years ago, she was CY Cindy. They, you know, showing this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, like that. I'm like, that. And then that shit, you guys talked about it. And I'm like, still like, and then you brought up the Tennessee thing. As soon as they passed that law, that shit stopped in Tennessee. And I went, She was right.
There are a bunch of people posting how clear their skies are right now in Tennessee because they've banned.
And the shit is falling to the ground and fucking up the frogs.
It has
Make them gay. Make them gay.
Make 'em gay.
Make them
Historically, the ingredients for the fuel that was being burnt in the chemical trails.
Tim, I'm sorry, Tim.
They've used it in tandem with the HARP array, the most famous one up in Alaska, to utilize various frequencies to alter and change weather patterns, to adjust and manipulate tectonic plates, actually create earthquakes, as well as utilizing the chemicals and various ingredients that are in those aerosols to alter the attitudes, perceptions, temperaments of the population, as well as mess with their patterns, their patterns of life, the patterns of
just the aluminum and some of the other stuff that they're spraying in the air that has electrochemical properties are fucking up the natural migration processes of animals, different species throughout the entire world.
I have seen time-lapsed weather footage of a southbound East Coast storm get pulled into the Carolina coastline by a lattice work of hashes and grid that happened just to its south, and literally it creates a low barometric pressure altering the storm's trajectory, pulling it into the Carolinas during election week into a red state.
Yes. And if you look up, I was going to look this up real quick, but if you just look up Doppler radar.
Oh yeah. That's a whole nother.
So the
Doppler
radar
uses,
radar is Doppler radar. You've seen them on the side of the road. They're the balls, right? Sitting up on a little tower. They are. I wanted to look up the exact number. They are either 10,000 times or 100,000 times stronger than they would ever need to be able to scan the atmosphere to find out what the weather patterns are.
In the radius that they do.
In the radius that they do, they're exponentially more powerful. And so then what you find out through your research is that they're actually using these towers more. I was looking for the round ones. I'm going to see if I can find out.
Hey, Tim, Ted, while he's looking, in college, have you graduated out of college? No. Okay. What's year or sophomore, junior, senior going to
This one over there in White Lake.
Junior.
Huh?
Junior.
Okay, junior. Do they ever talk about conspiracy, like this stuff in any of the classes, or are they just, no, they don't want you to?
I had a government class, and they would talk about, conspiracy theories and extremism being a threat to our democracy.
Oh, shit.
And meanwhile,
wait. Do we live in a democracy?
No, we live in our democracy. We have to protect our space democracy.
I thought we lived in a representative republic.
No, it's our democracy. That's what the TV told me.
Oh,
we have to protect our democracy.
Okay, my bad. I mean, the fact that you were told to protect the democracy when we don't live in a democracy, just right there is.
Because I
continue. Sorry, Ted.
Well, and because the reason I asked this stupid question is there's guys that are in their 40s.
Stupid questions, only stupid people.
Well, I'm stupid because I love the answers. That are now 40s and they're doctors and stuff. And when they were going through college, we used to have. There were some liberal guys, and I go, "Do they have critical fucking thinking for you guys?" And they would say, basically, "Oh yeah." And I go, "Then how the hell are you even arguing this?" That this is not blue. You're saying it's green type argument. It's so basic. And they basically don't have common sense, critical thinking. So I'm asking you, do they ever validate like what Jeremy and these guys and see about stuff like this? Do they
in colleges? No.
Really? Fuck.
The conspiracy theories are dangerous and bad for our democracy. We must trust the experts and the science.
Science.
I'm not paraphrasing
you must trust Fauci.
Yeah, he's not paraphrasing.
I'm not paraphrasing, but this is it's institution. It's our institutions.
Right.
We have to believe in the experts, the government.
Isn't the number one threat in the colleges and the universities questioning? Isn't the number one threat them questioning anything? You're supposed to
like
just
you questioning them.
you're supposed to just believe
just play
verbatim
along?
and regurgitate.
Yeah, you have to
Just
you have to watch you have to walk a fine line of, like for example, I had to write a essay about why we needed a new constitution, right? So I had to write, it needs to be more inclusive. We need everybody to be equal, and
so you played along.
Wait. So more inclusive than
You have to.
I know that's what's a shame.
more inclusive than
and it wasn't.
Otherwise,
I didn't have a
all
choice.
men
either.
created equal.
Oh, no, that's not equal enough.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're talking Animal Farm.
No, we need to.
We're talking Animal Farm.
We
that
can have
all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others.
We love the First Amendment, but it needs to be limited to
speech that doesn't hurt my feelings.
We cannot have hate speech. We have to be like Europe.
Gay black guy.
I know. Let me ask you this, and because it's curious to me. I know it's, and I've heard what you're saying. I've actually heard it before you said it. But do you guys ever, you go back to your dorms or wherever and go, look how I'm fucking bullshitting this just to get an A instead.
I never went to the dorms, but I just talked to my friends.
Right. Do you have friends thinking the same way you do?
Well,
like,
not everybody that teaches in college is bad. I've had great professors,
Sure.
They've, taught me a lot, they like critical thinking, getting involved in stuff, but, a lot of it is just a formulaic, thing, I post the assignment, you follow the thing, you can't say anything controversial, because they have like guidelines and all that, right? We have to be inclusive, no hate speech,
What is hate speech?
Hate speech is subject to the interpreter of who's calling it out.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Crazy.
We have to. You can't offend anyone, really.
Oh
and,
man,
back in the old days, I wasn't really live, but they were back. Colleges were like pushing the limits. They were debating and they had open ideas and all that. But nowadays it's just like you have to follow the uniparty, one party state lines, and
See, back in my day, the liberals were the ones that were free speech. Like, I can say what I want.
Free speech absolutists that were going out and pissing everybody
now
off.
we have today. There's the liberalism that we have is evolved into progressivism. Not even like progressivism in like century, but like a mix of progressivism and a mix of like depends on who the people are, but socialism, communism, and all that, right? Anarchism.
Yeah. Wow, man. You guys got a hard road ahead of you.
So Mr. Coffee likes that the chemtrail one.
Yes.
And George likes that one. Mr. Teddy likes that the Roman Empire is still around. I have multiples that I am engaged in and that I watch multiple things for. This is the just for those that are wondering about the Doppler radar, what we're talking about. If you've ever seen these, if you've ever seen these on the side of the road, that is a Doppler radar station, but they're actually pushing out more energy than they're actually taking in, and they are part of the grid that is affecting the weather. And if you don't believe that, that's fine. Go to geoengineeringwatch.org, which is the site that I pulled up earlier, Geoengineering Watch. I keep trying to pull out the engineering. Geoengineeringwatch.org. They've had, millions of people checking it out. There's awesome stuff. I've checked this out for years. My number one conspiracy that I love to revisit information on a regular basis is the JFK assassination. That's one of my absolute favorites. My second favorite to that is the flat Earth. And people still thinks that's a touchy subject, but I am a flat earther. Once you go down that road and do the studies, and you've watched too many videos, you go, okay, don't believe your lying eyes, because none of us has ever seen the curve. We've seen ships disappear over the horizon, but you've never seen a curve. And when you zoom back in with a high-powered camera or a telescope, that ship is right where it's supposed to be, and you can see it fully clearly. But if you don't zoom in, it disappears in the vanishing point, which the vanishing point, if you've ever looked at the, I'll do this one real quick. I'm going to type in vanishing point. Vanishing point. train tracks. Get you an image for this. Okay. And everybody has seen these pictures. I'm going to open it up on this one. Put another image. And I'll go to the image. All right. Every one of us have seen this. This is a vanishing point. Are those train tracks getting smaller as they go off in the distance? So it just means it's your perspective that's showing it getting smaller.
So when a little man on a tiny ship.
So when a boat goes over the horizon, supposedly it doesn't go to the horizon, it goes to the vanishing point of our perspective. God created us to have our perspective be the focal point of everything. So whether you're 30,000 feet in the air, the horizon rises to your eye level. If you're laying on the ground, the horizon rises to your level because God designed it to have your perspective, everything to rise to your perspective. The interesting thing, though, is everybody looks at the narrowing of the train tracks and they don't realize that everything in that photo is going to a central point. Not just the horizontal view, but the vertical view. Everything's going to that central point because it's at the center of your focus. And so there are a whole bunch of other details I don't want to get into at the end of the show tonight talking about it, but I want to encourage people to go out there and do a little bit of research. One of my favorite ones is JFK because there's a lot of data on that. A lot of people have done a lot of research just showing why was J.D. Tippit assassinated at the same time as JFK, because they called him Little JFK in the Dallas Police Department. He looked just like JFK, and they needed to shoot him specifically so they could swap out the body because they riddled JFK with actual bullets. And they needed a body double by the time they got to Washington with only the specific bullet holes that they could account for, with a lone gunman shooting 3 bullets and 1 missing. So that's only 2 bullets that impacted him. Yet between Connally and JFK and the limousine itself, let alone Tate on the overpass that got hit with a fragment, and there are 2 other shots accounted for by the open microphone on the motorcycle of one of the police officers who left his radio microphone open on his radio, and it recorded multiple shots. They had to do a lot of work on that. So those are my 2 favorites. I love digging into them. I'll just periodically go search and find another documentary on either one of those, and I love doing it. My biggest problem with people out there is when you won't challenge those things, because if you don't challenge the things that we have been told are the truth from a government that had the CIA saying, we know we'll have accomplished our goals, when everything that we publish or that is in the media is a lie. That's from the CIA. The same ones who invented the term conspiracy theory to shut down people who question the JFK assassination. And everything else, and just like Coffee sitting here said, I didn't believe people about the chemtrails, about the geoengineering they're doing. We've all had to come to different epiphanies in our lives. But if we don't question these things, and you may question it, I want people to question things and to prove it out. You know, every person that I listen to that is a flat earther, every one of the guys that I listen to that has a podcast or a documentary like that is a flat earther, every single one of them said, I set out to prove these fucking flat earth idiots wrong. And by the time I got done doing the actual research, I was like, okay. So whether you believe that or not, it's not my point. It's called a conspiracy theory. Just like JFK, just like 9/11, just like Oklahoma City, just like Ruby Ridge, just like Waco, Texas. Huh?
Iraq War.
The Iraq War. Just like, I mean, I was going to play you guys a clip. Go ahead, George. Would you have something to say?
It wasn't Gorbachev. Was
Did your mic die?
Check your mic back.
Yep. Brand new batteries.
By the way, mine
Yes.
would be, since you asked.
Oh, go, Tim.
Does anybody know where this image is from?
Is that from Denver?
Yep. Yeah. I've done a lot of media for a lot of different conspiracy theorists over the years, and one group I was able to work with had a series of interview tapes by a gentleman who actually played a part in the shooting conflict, the actual war or battle that took place underneath the Denver airport between humans and grays, aliens. This is one of the murals in the Denver International Airport, a project that was extremely late being completed and $3 billion over budget, and has massive underground. We're talking about the tunnels earlier. There are actually networks of tunnels across the entire United States. So, the actual conflict that occurred, it was 1984, I believe it was, that this went down. That's probably one of my most interesting conspiracy theories, because the series of recorded interview tapes from the gentleman that I had the privilege of working with to broadcast over various internet radio and shortwave radio broadcasts were very intriguing information. And some of the tapes were actually recordings during the conflict with the actual gunfire. So, this guy was a
interesting
audio. Yeah, it was very interesting. Of course, he was disappeared. And one of the gentlemen that brought that series of recordings forward, his story alone is interesting because he's a gentleman by the name of William Cooper. William Cooper is out of Arizona. He was a military officer in the Navy and spent his time on the tops of submarines as in lookout, and had himself witnessed spacecraft exiting and entering the water at high velocity with no splash or impact. And himself had a radio show out of Arizona, and he was lured off of his property one night by government officials in plain clothes and dark pickup trucks, and then chased back to his porch and shot down, killed like a dog. So anyway, the alien existence and the alien experience is probably my favorite of all of them, and I want to believe.
Well, and the cool thing that I like about that is I don't discount. I have my own theories on aliens. One theory is that they're all demons, apparitions.
Sure.
Another theory, which would go along with what you're doing, because since I don't no longer believe in outer space or that type of things, is that there are whole races of people that live underground or outside the ice wall that we call the island of Antarctica, which is actually the ice wall. Again, my bad. I don't know why this way. Hold on, just gonna wait for the music to stop.
Well, this was the video I made earlier on proof we live on a globe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this was just a guy in a boat who just zoomed out and showed us that we live on a globe, apparently.
Yeah.
Finally proof we live on a globe by someone who does not work at NASA.
I like the one where they show you where the people say, oh, these are what flat earth people think, with people falling off the edge.
Right.
And I want Tim to make me a whole globe with people flying off like they would fly off of a merry-go-round, with people just flying off
centrifugal force.
The ball.
Right.
Because that doesn't happen.
That was a question. I'm going to find the video and I'll send you. Some congressman was asking the guy in Ireland.
Yeah, was he talking about the island flipping over?
Yeah,
it's like if we have too many people on that side,
too many people,
the island flip over.
The island will capsize.
And he was serious. Totally serious, dude.
The big crocodile has such a small brain.
Yeah.
And his brain is even smaller.
It's even smaller.
Crocodile.
Then yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. But talking about JF Kennedy, at the time when Boris Yeltsin was the president of Russia, it was a discussion between Russia and United States.
Was that Yeltsin or Khrushchev?
Yeltsin.
Like in
After
the 90s?
Gorbachev, it was Gorbachev.
Oh, you're talking later on.
Later
after
on.
the assassination.
Yeah. After assassination, it was Gorbachev that signed the deal with Reagan, and after was Boris Yeltsin. And Boris Yeltsin propose to the people who were in the top that Vladimir Putin is one of the guys that will stand up for our country. But anyway, different story about that one. When they're talking, Boris Yeltsin told to, I don't know exactly who were the American people that told it, we have everything in our archives. We can give you all the details. Who kills John F. Kennedy?
And they're like,
they said, no, we are not interested in that.
Right.
No, but if you want, we can give you it. We have in our archives.
They're like, nah, we're good. Yeah. Awesome stuff tonight. Don't believe your lying eyes. Question everything in politics, and then make your choices. Make your choices as to what you're going to do, what you're going to support, how you're going to operate, because we still have to function within some of the paradigms that are going on around us, but we have to continually search out the truth. Search out that, there's De Niro drinking Bud Light. You know, they took Aunt Jemima, who was phenomenal. I have that.
Yeah, I love that.
They took off Aunt Jemima.
Uncle Ben.
Well, but I'm looking at Aunt Jemima. I'm trying to see where it's at. I saved it in my X feed. But they took Aunt Jemima off. You know who Aunt Jemima was? She was a kick-ass, phenomenal lady. They picked her out of a ton of people to be the spokesman for the syrup. Okay,
because of her cooking skills.
Because she was a badass cook.
Right. Yep.
And now they've taken her off of the syrup. Okay. And they put a dude pretending to be a girl on beer cans.
Right.
This is how fucked up that they are. And I'm not going to find
White
her.
people would line up to have a picture with her. She's so revered.
Exactly.
She used all of her lifetime contract for her image for the black community, and some white motherfucking liberal was offended by her outfit, which happens in that day was the top of the line. You're at the top of your game wearing that outfit.
She was dressed in the nines.
She was badass, and they ruined it.
Same with the Indian on the
Land O'Lakes.
The Redskins.
Took away the Indian, got rid of the Indian, and kept the land of lakes.
Yep. They made the best butter. All right, I got to play one more for you guys. This was kind of funny. I'm almost there. I'm almost to it. It's right here. It's right.
Probably you guys might laugh with me, but what was the reason of the Indian in the butter? I don't know.
It's offensive.
No, but
because
Land
why
O'Lakes,
they place the Indian in the butter?
a beautiful.
No, it's a joke. Go with the coffee. Ask him why'd they put the Indian in the butter.
I'm missing something.
No, George is asking sincerely. You're not
He's-
serious.
No, I'm
he's
asking
not joking.
sincerely.
He's-
Why they put that one before and after they remove it?
Well, you'd have to probably
was-
look it up, but Land O'Lakes is Minnesota, correct?
Yes.
And the
Land of
Indian
10,000
tribe
lakes.
or whatever, and they put a beautiful Indian princess as their motto, whatever.
Their mascot.
And
And a bunch of assholes came in there and
White.
removed it.
guaranteed they were white.
Oh, found it.
There
Found it.
she is. A great woman right there.
I found it, and it's going to load up. Yep. Thank you. Let me see if I can enlarge it without it going. Oh, it's working. A great woman erased from the history books by idiots. The branding of syrup was a tribute to this woman's gifts and talents. Now, future generations will not even know that this beautiful woman existed. What a shame. The world knew her as Aunt Jemima, but her
Nancy
given
Green.
name was Nancy Green.
Yep.
And she was a true American success story. She was born a slave in 1835, Montgomery County, Kentucky, and became a superstar in the advertising world as its first living trademark. Green was 56 years old when she was selected as a spokesman for the new ready-mix self-rising pancake flour and made her debut in 1893 at a fair and exposition in Chicago. She demonstrated the pancake mix and served thousands of pancakes and became an immediate star. She was a good storyteller. Her personality was warm and appealing, and her showmanship was exceptional. Her exhibition booth drew so many people that special security personnel were assigned to keep crowds moving. Nancy Green was signed to a lifetime contract and traveled on promotional tours all over the country. Her death was in 1923 at the age of 89. This was a remarkable woman, and sadly, she has been erased by assholes.
Some white person was offended by that look. She was putting a black woman down. Some white fucker about 4 years ago
was offended that black people might be offended that this successful black woman who was the spokesman of a brand new pancake mix at the time and was offered the opportunity to be that.
She used her earnings to help the black community in her town to no end, and they erased. They looked at that. That right there is like an Indian chief with all his. I mean, he is the top of his game, and they're offended by they're offended. A white motherfucker's offended by that. That is the top of the game at the time, right there.
Yep,
that's it.
Aunt Jemima.
There's black and white photos of crowds around her.
Her original likeness was actually formed into a bottle.
Yep. I love those bottles.
Yeah, I love those bottles. Those are around, but then you weren't showing. I thought you were going to show the logos themselves, but that's the logo themselves. They used her face.
What is the new logo?
I only had that part of the article right there.
Yeah, but these original bottles, I used to love these.
Yep.
Yeah,
I remember those bottles too.
Yeah, they were awesome.
So now I'm buying a value brand at Walmart or something that
without dumbing down of this shit.
What the fuck?
Yep. Yeah, they're selling them as collector items for $40 a piece.
Are they?
Yeah.
The glass bottles?
No, the logoed ones.
Oh,
plastic
what is on the
ones.
logo for? What is Aunt Jemima now? If it's not Aunt Jemima, is it?
I don't know what it is now.
Oh, speaking of which, we had this uproar this past
Collectible syrup rare discontinued.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. We had this big uproar last week about the in the NFL about Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Or Harrison Butker.
Oh yeah.
NFL. We don't support Harrison Butker belittling women. Also from the NFL.
Yeah.
Belittling women.
Sure. Yeah.
But they chose that. Oh, okay. Sure. They're not objects. Oh, okay. Anyways, that's what's going on. Let's get ready for final thoughts. Anything to catch up on chat there, Mr. Coffee?
There's a bunch of stuff.
Let's catch up
Johnson
on chat
was a Democrat genius for the Guam thing. Sorry, Coffee. Somebody said,
the Guam that is going to be capsized.
UFOs and aliens. Charlotte says UFOs and aliens is done by Pentagon and Hollywood military industrial complex. They have knowledge we don't know about.
Yeah.
Philadelphia experiment.
Ooh, that was a great one. Philadelphia experiment.
Yep. We got to do a lightning round though, real quick. I forgot about this one. Coffee, it was even on your stuff. We got to do a lightning round.
Okay.
You guys ready for a lightning round?
Uh-oh.
How do I open that? Can I open that in its own new tab?
It's off my page, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's something he posted? Oh,
yep. All right, lightning round. I'll start. We'll go around the table quickly.
Dog shit, very poor quality.
Bullshit, not true.
Horse shit, nonsense.
Ape shit, rambunctious.
Bat shit, insane.
Saggies.
Chicken shit, in court.
Rat shit, poor quality.
No shit, obviously.
Holy shit. Mind blowing, unbelievable.
Hot shit, very good. Yeah.
Dipshit, total dumbass.
Tough shit. Just take it or leave it.
Jack shit, nothing.
That's the shit.
That's shit. Perfection.
The shit. You're the shit.
The shit.
We like that. We don't have time to play the clip, but we like to
like when I was in Germany and you'd say that and they're like, what are you talking about? Any one of them.
I would have never guessed that.
I would have never guessed that shit. I would have to go home and learn that shit. All right. You guys getting ready for final thoughts?
Yeah, I got it. I'm very quick.
Then I learned that if somebody says, I have shit to do, it
sounds like
refer
Klaus.
to any activity whatsoever. Any, except one. Actually shitting.
I love that guy.
Nobody says that when they're going to the bathroom. I love to do that. I love to do it. Oh, I have to go. I have shit to do. What are you going to do? I have already told you. And then I learned that the phrase and shit, it's just something that you say to make your list sound longer.
It's something and shit.
And shit.
It's never really anything else. It's just that and shit.
No, I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was American soldier in Vietnam, and he got with a girl. He was helping Vietnamese people. He got with a girl, and they got
busy
one night.
Yeah.
And next day, the American guy was saying, "That was a fucking night," and she was like, "No, it was a fuck at night."
She gives clarification. All right. Very good. Good show tonight, guys. Let's do final thoughts.
Okay, I'm real quick, but anyhow, 59 Studebaker, I guess, answered, "What is Aunt Jemima now?" And I'm thinking 59 says Pearl Milling Company.
Is that what they did?
I don't know.
I know they took her
because they're
off the
talking
cover.
about it, and it's, you know, when we were talking about that, and it has her eyes, blah blah blah, and it says Pearl Milling Company. So
it's part of the
So I'm not
purge.
going to go buy syrup that says Pearl Milling Company.
It was part of the purge where we got rid
I know.
of Uncle Ben, Land O'Lakes, Indian Chick, and Aunt Jemima.
My final thoughts. Every time it's the young people, your generation, they got to be smart and vote, because you guys are fucked. You're fucked. You got to vote, guys, and in person if you can.
Absolutely.
I have done. Every time I say this.
Well, my thoughts is taking a place from the beginning when he said that he likes to study Napoleonian at the time. The very important thing at this time was that Napoleon tried to invade Russia,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't do it. Hitler tried to invade Russia, and
Mhm.
they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Probably Biden can do it right now with Zelensky.
Yeah.
So study the history, and probably you might become a strategic person for Biden.
No, for the next president who's going to actually do something qualitative, quantitative. Yeah. Thank you, George. Teddy, final thought?
We are living in an interesting time in history. We have been the most advanced in some aspects, but we are more uncivilized than others. I would recommend people sit down and read an old book every day. Anything about history or conspiracy theories or anything, you know.
Right.
Learn something new every day. There's a lot to be gained from reading old books instead of surfing on the news slop or internet.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down, read, learn about your local community, the history about that, learn about your country, learn about what makes it great, learn about the people that, you know, hadn't had a chance to make it home, you know. But now we are almost at nuclear war because people can't point at Ukraine on a map, probably like 3 out of 4 people.
Right.
We are continuing to, you know, push Russia and China into an alliance, right?
Yeah.
Which, and people don't know this. If there's a war between those, the mainland United States will be attacked like never before. We didn't have that. We had a luxury of not being attacked. World War I, World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And people aren't ready for that. So read your books, get a little bit more educated, and just keep an eye on current events, but not too much of an eye.
Got to have that guy back. And well, I fact check, Jeremy. A fact check. There it is.
Yeah.
There's your Aunt Jemima right there, people.
Pearl
There it is.
Milling Company.
Right there. Fact check it. It's not Aunt Jemima on there anymore. I'm
Yeah.
going to go buy me some Pearl. Sorry.
Because they don't support Aunt Jemima anymore. She was an awesome icon for well over 100 years.
And by the way, just remember the actual bottle shaped like a woman. That's Mrs. Buttersworth, by the way, not Aunt Jemima.
Oh,
That's a different company completely.
Yeah, but still cool. This is an interesting one for me to finish up. I spent 20 years teaching public school and have a master's degree in education. Trust me, homeschool your children. The tide is rapidly rising. In the 1970s, 13,000 homeschoolers. By the 80s, 200,000 homeschoolers.
Wow.
In the 1990s, 850,000 homeschoolers. By the 2000s, 1.5 million homeschoolers. By the 2010s, 1.7 million homeschoolers. By the 2020s, pandemic bullshit, 5 million.
That's good.
All homeschoolers.
Homeschoolers.
You know how much money the federal government's losing? That's why they hate homeschooling.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's not just adjusted for inflation. That is,
yeah,
we didn't grow that. Yeah.
What you said about reading an old book came right away in my mind. Is an old book that is written by Jules Verne.
Yeah, Jules Verne. Yeah.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah.
At that time, when the submarines didn't exist, and now they are reality.
Yeah.
And it's exactly so. Those old books, the imagination of people is written in the books, and with the time goes by, the imagination becomes a reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
1984.
1984 was. There's a meme that goes around quite a bit. Every once in a while, it pops up in my feed, and it says, "It's a picture of George Orwell looking," and he goes, 1984 wasn't written as a manual. It was written as a warning.
Yeah.
Because they're using it as a manual. They're using it as an instruction guide, the powers that be. And we've got to disarm them. And we've got to realize that we can't believe our lying eyes anymore when somebody says they're going to stand up for us. No, the one person that we've seen stand up for us in our lifetime has been Donald Trump. And he's not perfect. He's not beyond being fallible. But he said what he was going to do, and he did it.
And he's perfect for the time that we are going.
He is the man of the hour.
If the time was different, probably he wouldn't be the right guy. But for this bullshit, he's the perfect guy.
Yeah, and we need.
Go
Ted.
He's not a Caesar, but he's a Graki. He will start what is, because this is just beginning, right? All this, people fighting back against globalism and all that, and people finding out what's really going on. It just didn't happen all the time. Like, in Rome, there was, the plebeians versus the patricians. The plebeians wanted more land and more rights and all that. And the patricians and the state that they controlled would fight back against people such as Rocky Brothers, Sulla, and then eventually we have Caesar.
Okay.
So I think we're in the beginning of the transformation of something of our political system, because the system is just a corpse at this point.
Yeah.
Now we either vote for the corpse, conservatives, or we vote for the maggots, Democrats. So voting,
I like that.
Vote for. I wouldn't even care for federal stuff because they don't care about you. They're like, oh, we can't secure our own border, but we'll give $60 billion to Ukraine, $20 billion to Israel so they can bomb children.
And the veterans are sleeping on the streets.
Yeah. So care about your local community. Shape. You can do a lot more for your local community than ever you could for the machine that is known as Washington.
Oh yeah.
And do your own research on your local candidates.
You're trying to fuck her up again, aren't you?
I gave him the whole center section tonight.
Yeah.
He is the strange history with Theodore.
We're going to sit him on.
He's going to come. We're going to get him set up to either be here each week or record a segment each week.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's going to come in and do strange,
I like
strange
his,
history
I like
with
his
Theodore.
knowledge and his youth. And
Hell yeah!
He should sit like a yoga, on the table.
Yogi.
He's my new. And that's the rest of the story. He's our rest of the story.
The thing is that you got to stop caring about politics these days. There's some stuff I like about the lefties that they have. They're not the best messengers, but they have good ideas. And there's some stuff I like about Trump and all that, right?
Right.
So there needs to be a point where we just have these all come together at once. The problem is we're too divided on
exactly.
Well, we've been given this dynamic of either or.
Yeah, either or, lesser of two evils.
Yeah, and there's. I was talking with friends of ours yesterday, Memorial Day. They were hanging out here, friends of ours, and said, you know what? There's an extreme amount of gray. There's very little black and white. Everybody tries to put everything into black and white. Oh, it's this or it's that. No, there's huge gray areas, and if you can't find the grayness within all of life, then you're missing the big picture.
I was driving here, and the storm that passed through. Half of the sky was light, half of the sky was dark.
Right.
And that was what we had before. There was white and black, Democrat, Republican.
Right.
But now it's just all gray.
Yep.
And there's a lot of good people there that just are Biden voters. Not all Biden voters are bad. Sometimes you just got to talk to people. You may not agree on everything. But if you just sit down and talk to people and they're willing to listen, you'll make a lot of good friends, and a lot of good connections, and it would make your community a better, more happy place. Because what's going on right now in Heartland, and I just got into this, right? I don't know really what's going on with like the board and all this, but I never thought Heartland would be so divided.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like mudslinging, and you got like just craziness,
Yep.
And there are, I will say, there are good people. Miss Yarber, Angela Yarber, very good character, good character, and she knows what she believes in something, right? And that's what I want in the board.
Yeah.
Some they can agree with me, but it just depends on character, and honesty, And what I saw with the closed session and all that is that there's a lot of back deal, there's just a lot of shady stuff going on, even in our school board.
A lot of lack of character.
Yeah. So I would imagine, there needs to be a stop to the infighting and mudslinging, because sometimes it's just more destructive than good.
Yep. Well, and they don't. One of the things that is different, a different dynamic. One is the party duality, where we only have this choice or that choice. That's a dynamic that is not real.
Yeah.
There's always a third or fourth or fifth choice. It's not presented to us. But the other dynamic is that our founding fathers, when you go back and do your research and read and study our founding fathers, there was extreme amounts of division in our founding fathers and their different philosophies and their different dynamics. The Federalists, the Whigs, the early Republicans before Lincoln. There was a lot of dynamics, but there was one thing that they focused on above all, which united them, which was the freedom of men. And that's where we had to come down on.
You're going to say we all hate England. So
nope. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, do
You guys don't
ordain and establish these truths, that these ideals that above all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator. And you know the thing. No, they're endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight.
One thing that I want to add, what he said, is like there are a lot of good people, like he talked about Angela.
Yeah.
There are a lot of good teachers too, but they are afraid to open their mouth, because as soon as they open their mouth, they are getting kicked in the ass and out of the
Exactly.
job.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Appreciate everybody in chat. Love you all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends. We crossed 300 subscribers tonight. 2 people brought us over the top. 300 subscribers. Thank you all. Please like, share, and subscribe on all of our platforms. Come over to Rumble. Check it out. We're growing and we're kicking ass.
As I take us to close, you never asked me if I wanted a final thought, but I actually wanted to mention one thing I've noticed is, as we look at what's in front of us, there's this interesting sense of, at least for our generation, or at least my generation, of not realizing that this too can change and become something completely unrecognizable to what you think it is. America is not impervious, and it is not well, as the Pledge of Allegiance says, indivisible. The United States of America are divisible. That's what we have to realize. And if we don't fight for their non-dividingness or non-division, they can be divisible. Making up words now. And just that sense of thinking that this too, oh, this would never happen. Oh, that would never happen here. Oh, no, this is America. This will never happen to us. This is never. You look at countries around the world where, it through the power of our own CIA and the other forces that do it, there's countries that get toppled and divided and somebody else put in power all the time.
And how do we come out of that? Do we focus on freedom and the best goodwill of all time?
That's a great question.
Right on.
What do we focus on to fight against that divisibleness?
Yep.
Because it could happen here. There's the QR codes, folks. I already gave you the email earlier. There's the close.
This is my brain.
Dad, that's an egg.
Yeah, that's an egg.
Honey,
Dude,
that's an egg.
seriously.
That's an egg.
It's a metaphor.
It's still an egg.
That's an egg.
I would challenge you.
That's an egg.
I know my brain is not actually an egg, okay? It's a metaphor.
Metaphor or not, that's not your brain.
It's just an egg.
Una cerveza para mí. My egg is my brain.
Can I at least have some bacon, maybe some sausage with that egg, though?
Oh, I want some bacon.
I want crepes.
Have some bacon and pancakes with that egg.
I'll take it with cheese.
Extra large brown cage-free eggs.
Can I have your brain with hot cakes?
So sausage and a little toast and potato.
That would be great.
Does it have antibiotics?
I don't know, man. I'm not good at this shit.
Well, they got to be able to resist some diseases.
You resist the disease.
Has it got any hormones?
Maybe. It's cage free.
Vegetarian?
Maybe.
Are they vegan?
No, I eat steak.
Never apologize and never explain.
Never apologize.
Never apologize and never explain.